GCX. So if you happen to be in Orlando and are attending the event, we usually post up after convention hours on Friday and Saturday down by the pool. There's like a little bar and a whole big seating area that is, I guess, there for their market and food court. And so we just sit outside for a couple hours and the cookies will be set out. We also have been blessed. Beej has sent me 2 boxes of smoked Cheez-Its that do have a ghost pepper rub. So if you are like, bueno on the spice, do not partake. But if you do like a little medium spice, I'll have those, and I'm gonna have a large batch of pimento cheese because it tastes really good with them. So we'll just be snacking. We're just gonna be hanging out and snacking, and these cookies will be there. So I am going to do some toasted milk powder chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna be doing some pistachio paste stuffed snowballs, and I'm going to be doing some mellow macarona, which are a Christmas cookie. It's a Greek Christmas cookie, and it uses all-purpose flour and semolina flour, and it gets dipped in honey. So it's just like a super moist, delicious, like cinnamon orange. It's so good. And I feel like very little people have had them before, and I really need people to try them, which is why that one came into the mix. Because I know everyone was excited about the chocolate chip cookies and and everyone loves pistachios, but I needed the honey cookies to come into play here. So we're actually gonna get started on that first. I'm gonna go ahead and start the syrup that the honey cookies get dipped in, and we have to brown some butter and then let that cool for a little bit, and that gets worked into the honey cookie batter. So I'm actually gonna be back here. I tried to figure out how I could do most of the stuff here, but I do have those 2 elements are gonna be on this back burner here. The syrup is gonna go in this guy, and the brown butter is gonna start in that pan. Okay, let's get going. Ugh. Where can you find a recipe for pistachio paste? It's interesting that you ask. It just got posted today on Instagram. And since we're in Lep's channel, it's !Gram or !website. It's also up on my website. Most of the notes for the recipe made it onto the Instagram post, made it into the carousel, but not all of it. So if you do want the rest of the notes, I suggest going to the website. I think the thing that we missed in the notes section is just the difference between a pistachio butter, a pistachio paste, and a pistachio cream. Because those get tossed around a lot in food blogs, and everybody interchanges them. And I suppose like you can basically interchange them, but on a technical aspect when it comes to pastry, like they're different. And so I kind of gave like a brief explanation as to like what those individually were. I just got a text from why did you text me? Chuck, Lep. Okay. I thought my mom texted me. I was like, oh no, my mom took the kids. So I'm like waiting. So-and-so, they went to go to like some kind of jumping something or other. And so I'm just like waiting. Like, so Kate fell down, she jumped too high and crashed into something, and I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I've got chat up. Yeah. Yes, there is LepCon merch. I hope you guys go check it out. Sir Leopard bravely ran away. Brave Sir Leopard bravely ran away. I think it's the... Were you really?
But it's got sus lyrics.
Oh. Okay. Sus lyrics are not great. Okay. Let's get cooking here. Okay. Now, if you really like baking and you want to be better at baking, get a kitchen scale. It's far easier and faster to weigh out your ingredients than it is to try to just, 6 tablespoons of this and whatever. And then like the packaging's like, this is a tablespoon, but also half of the tablespoon is missing off to this side because of how it got packaged. And like, what do you actually know? So if you weigh it, it's much better at being consistent and just taking your baking to like a better place. Let's turn that on.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I can't see what they're seeing because I don't have the stream up. I only have the pop out of the chat, by the way. So if you, I don't know where the camera is focused.
I can get it up. Right now. It's on the
yeah.
Miles, thanks for sticking with the primer.
Okay, so we're going to brown 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which is about 85 grams. Let's see, it's about... Okay. Nice. Thanks, One John, for the teeny tiny mistakes.
Thanks for the money.
Oh, can you hear it? Okay, so what you're doing when you brown butter is you're actually going to let it foam. It's going to get a bunch of just really light colored foam on top of it. And that is part of the milk solids in the butter. That is going to sink to the bottom of the pan, the hotter that it gets, and it's going to start toasting. And so you're going to get like a lot of like that poppy, crackly kind of splattery noise. And then it will ease as the moisture comes out of the butter. And then you're going to end up, once that moisture is gone, it's going to start toasting. And then you're going to look for a nice like warm brown color. And the second you see that color, like this happens super, super fast. So it'll brown, it'll start turning brown. And the second you start seeing it get to like a nice warm brown color, like a little lighter than like a milk chocolate color, just take it right off the heat. It'll continue cooking because it is in the butter, and that's something that you have to be careful of. You don't wait till it gets to the perfect color because then it'll start to burn if you take it off the heat, because there's carryover cooking. Like the temperature is still there. It's hot oil. So yeah, so they can see. You got it? Nice. Are you going to be a sous chef for this?
Yes, I am ready to help.
Okay.
Also me.
Cool.
I wasn't sure you wanted me to do it.
Yeah, of course. Oh, that was close. Yay!
Yo, what up, chat?
I almost slid in.
Wow.
My spatula is a small guy, and it almost slid all the way in, but it like just didn't, which was nice. Okay, so see how we're getting all of this foam up on top? That's all going to start sinking to the bottom, and it's going to start browning underneath. So I've got, you can't really see past the foam, but it stopped that splattering noise, right? So we're not splatting anymore. I'm smelling this toasted. And you see how it's got this warm brown color? Yeah, we're like there. So now I'm gonna take this off. And that was what, a couple minutes. And then if you can see, or move it over, it gets like a dark,
We don't make
just like
mistakes.
really toasty brown color. And this is the color that you want. Sometimes, you will get some flavor, even with like a light brown color, but this like lovely deep brown is like really good flavor.
Cookies are smelling good.
Yeah, we didn't even
That's what
one
I'm saying.
ingredient.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 5 gifted subs, Anonymous.
Oh, thanks.
Wherever you are.
Appreciate it.
Whoever you be.
Okay. So now, I guess, can you do me a favor?
Yes, chef.
And pour this into that, and then that goes in the refrigerator
Yes, chef.
to harden. Got it? Okay, cool. What do you
You're
need?
still using that area for the overhead cam?
Yes. Now I'm moving. Should I keep it on the big burner? Okay.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to do this today.
Stop it.
I'm gonna do this today. But when you're cooking, please match the bottom of your pots to the actual size of your burner. It will heat more evenly, and it's just like a better use of space. So technically, it should be on this bag guy here, or it should be on this one like all the way over here.
Chef, do I spatula out? the
Yes, you absolutely.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah,
of those
I think
all of those bits are flavor.
Yes.
Please get as much
Spatula.
out as you can. There's another one here, and then I have
All right, teamwork.
this guy. You're gonna end up needing this. We're gonna end up needing this, and that should be good for now.
We'll
Okay.
probably update the height command because now it's gonna be how tall is
Oh yeah.
Spoon? How tall is Leopard? How tall?
It's gonna add.
What?
They're gonna add Datto in there.
What are your social security numbers? Is Leopard on stilts? How do those calves not break apart?
Why don't we have a yes chef as an emote? Because we don't cook enough. We don't do cooking streams enough. As a person that needs an extra measurement, how much is a drizzle of oil? Okay. In baking, I would be absolutely terrified to see that as an instruction. A drizzle, when you're using a drizzle of something, it's typically as a finisher, like it's a finishing drizzle. So it's really like whatever your heart tells you that it should be.
Baking
If
is
that's
an
helpful.
exact science.
And that is a like a cooking thing. If it's a drizzle after baking, like you're going light. Like it's not meant to super soak into whatever you've baked. If it was a soak, because some cakes do have like soaks, you would typically want it to kind of imbue all of that cake. So you're kind of doing like a top layer, but like you wouldn't just be doing like a light coating on the top. They will give you hopefully enough ingredients in the recipe that soak is gonna go like all the way through and you would use like all of it. And if you weren't supposed to use all of it, hopefully they would also give you instructions to say like, hey, you're not gonna use all of this, but you should use about X amount of it. Good luck. Yeah, olive.
Like,
But the drizzle of oil, all of this. I like it.
I'm back.
Okay, HelloFresh. We use HelloFresh and they tell me to use a drizzle of oil when cooking things, and it makes me so frustrated. Okay, so they're probably saying like drizzle the pan with oil when you go to like say cook an onion maybe. If they're using it in that way, I would say a tablespoon. A tablespoon per cup and a half of veggies. If you had more than that, so if you're moving up into 2 cups or like 3 cups of veggies, you could probably go up to about 2 tablespoons. And you should be fine with that. But yeah, if it's used as a finishing, like a finisher, then it's just going to be like whatever you feel like you're comfortable eating alongside whatever meal you made. I hope that helps. It's less than a glug, but more than a splash. I feel like we're moving into smidge and pinch territory. So loud.
You're the one that clapped. like you have control over.
Oh, well, no, because I know what he wants. He's expecting a peak. Like, I can't be like, golf clap. What are we cooking? We are cooking. We're making cookies. We're baking. We are making a Greek honey cookie. We're making chocolate chip cookies, and we're making a pistachio paste stuffed snowball cookie. Your ears. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. Just a touch of olive oil. Okay, so now, like I said earlier, these Greek cookies actually get dipped in a honey syrup. So they come out of the oven, baked, and then immediately dipped into a syrup. And then that syrup just kind of like soaks into the cookie. So I'm going to go ahead and make the syrup. This recipe does exist on the website and on Instagram. I'm actually going to double the amount of syrup that I have listed. We will not use it all, but it's going to make baking a lot easier. It's just going to speed things up, and I'm just going for efficiency. So this way we can bake more cookies at a time. Because the way that these cookies work is the cooler that they get out of the oven, the less syrup they kind of soak up. And I want to make sure that, we have a ton of syrup, so I can use like a wide pan or something like that we can just kind of do like a whole bunch in one instead of having like a small bowl of syrup and doing like 4 to 6 at a time. I'll provide my address for shipping purposes. No, just come to GCX. Come to GCX and you can have as many of these as you want. Okay, so I'm going to be doing 2 cups of water, 4 cups of granulated sugar, and 1.5 cups of honey, which is the equivalent of 480 mils of what?
And tweet the stream and then get the audio synced up. Wait. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're good? This is actually
Production man does
not
not
gonna
need
be
to
a
talk
lot.
about production.
Okay. Okay, as long as we're good.
Good.
We're good. Okay, cool. Okay. I may need a bigger pot than this now that I'm thinking if I'm doubling this. And I've got
What?
4 cups of sugar. I'm going to need this guy.
What cookie are you working on now?
I'm making the honey syrup for the Greek honey
The
cookies.
Greek honey.
We're still on.
Cool.
Where is the
Boom. It's there.
Okay, it's there. Cool. Now I'm going to pull it away so I can do better.
My favorite cookie? The simple peanut butter ones you make. Or white macadamia nut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Macadamia, they're usually like a little thin. They chew, break apart very easy. Macadamia, just
It's a good nut.
it's a good nut.
It's a nice soft nut.
It's an above average nut.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, we don't have an exclamation point menu. But
I mean,
she's making cookies today.
is Panda in here? Can you do a menu? Panda's in here. Panda, would you do a menu for us, por favor?
Exclamation point menu in the title. Oh, it's already there. Come on.
But that's not it.
That's
not,
old.
That's not what
for
we're making.
dawning.
Yeah, that was for the dawning.
Need an update.
Okay, we're gonna do,
Yeah, go over them real quick.
okay, I'm gonna do, okay, I will spell this for you, Panda. It's called Mellow Macarona. M-E-L-O, oh, okay, you're gonna do it? M-E-L-O-M-A-K-A-R-O-N-A.
Oh my god. You're not logged in. Never mind. They heard it. What is this? How do you get this?
I don't know what you did, so I can't help
Got
you.
it. We're good.
I can just put this up to the screen.
Mellow macarona.
I could just like do one of these. This is what we're making.
Malamaka. What else? They can't read it.
You can't read that? Okay, we're gonna do chocolate chip cookies,
Chocolate chip cookies?
and we're gonna do, we can just call it pistachio snowball cookies.
Pistachio snowball cookies. Cool.
Mellow macaroni.
Do the macarena. Do the mellow macarona.
Okay, so little tip, little trick.
Hot tip.
If you're doing any kind of honey or syrup, molasses, whatever, if you spray the inside of your cups and then pour out, it should come out much faster. and you're not
But
going to
then you
be
missed out on that very satisfying. What is this?
Like we're
finger swirl on the inside of the.
No, spatula. Like with a silicone
removing
spatula.
removing the sides
so
of the spatch.
satisfying.
To clean it, get nice.
Oh my gosh, this is so much
Get all
honey.
of it out.
This is a lot of honey. I may need to get more honey out of the. You know, I almost bought more honey the other day. Can you grab more honey out of
Yes,
the?
chef.
There should be like at least 2 other containers of honey. Yeah, just as long as it's not like hot honey. Yeah. Yeah. That works. Oh, we're sliding out slowly. But I don't know if you can see it's like coming down the sides because it's not sticking.
Oh, yeah.
If this is like done in like a teaspoon or something like that, it's faster.
I rinsed it.
Oh, thanks. All right, I guess you want to fill this guy up for me?
Yes, chef.
Okay, and then we're gonna be doing 2 cups or 800 grams of sugar. And I'm just gonna weigh this because you're using my cup.
Wow, pretty rude of you.
I honestly would prefer to just like weigh ingredients. I just did the water and the honey with the cups because it's by volume. Nice. You are a child. Oh my god. We're making so much honey.
Now, for those a professional label.
No, I mean it literally says pure and local.
Okay.
That I kind of don't want to waste the Tupelo on this. No, it's not a
Okay,
waste.
well, there's another one
I
in
know.
there.
Also, I'm sure you can get more. I'm sure they're very happy to sell you more.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Straight to the bloodstream.
Honey's actually got a. That's really funny.
It's not funny.
It is absolutely funny. Honey actually has a really nice, a relatively low glycemic index compared
Oh,
to
really?
other sugars. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not a simple carb.
nice glycemic.
Not
index
as
you got
simple
there,
as
bro.
like, refined sugar or something like that.
I actually didn't know that. I thought it'd be like the simplest of sugar to jack your.
Well, it does. It hits faster, but it doesn't like spike and then immediately go down the way that like refined sugar does.
Are you topping that off with that?
Empty.
That one wasn't as.
It was a little deeper. Okay, thank
That
you.
good. Like you want. I mean, it's close.
Did you miss the GCX spot? Yes, this is a like
GCX
charity
Actually,
incentive.
GCX
Thank you.
for the highlights video.
Oh, yeah.
Do you need spatula? Oh, you got it.
We are currently coming down the side.
I suck.
You do.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right, so I'm gonna bring this to a boil for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna turn it off and just leave it on the stovetop and let it cool.
We were just correctly cast.
The best skit in the sidewalk jog. I know. Nailed it.
I have a lot of music.
I have no rhythm.
Yeah. Which is why it's funny that you can only keep one rhythm. You keep going back to the same thing and sticking with it.
I dance to the lyrics in the song, not the beat.
You gotta get some music lessons. If you were gonna play a wind instrument, what instrument would you play?
Ooh.
Are wind or brass?
Okay.
I feel like what's the slider? The trombone.
Trombone.
Is
Trombone.
too freeform. I need direct instructions. You need to press this button to do this thing. So like read
Okay.
button. So like saxophone.
Okay.
It's like
Since
press
you brought
this,
in
press
brass,
that.
French horn is so pretty.
French horn is very pretty.
It's such a beautiful instrument.
But here's the thing: is that a lot of instruments are like that. A lot of instruments
Yeah.
are gonna have duplicate keys
Yeah.
for different notes.
Yep.
Like the trumpet. for
Trumpet,
example, has
yeah.
3 buttons.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Every button
Oh
combination.
yeah.
Like
Changes.
yeah.
Yeah. But like
It's all about
trombone.
Trombone
you could
has
be here.
You
could be
slide
here.
at
You could be,
different-
oh,
will you-
I
you
went
slide-
too far. I don't like that.
you have
Okay.
well, trombone has 7 positions.
Yeah.
No, it has a billion. Because there is no position.
Right, but
There's
then you
no...
get to go.
Have you played?
I played the trumpet for I don't know 10, 15
Did you ever
years.
play
Okay.
the trombone game?
Yeah.
So good. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's good conversation. It's good conversation. Okay. Do you want to measure stuff out?
I will help you in any way that you deem-
Same. I feel like
Okay,
it's
here.
sitting
Why
there.
don't you zest 2 oranges with that? And you can just
Zest.
put the zest onto a plate. I left bowls and plates over there for you
Bowl and
guys.
plates. Yes, chef.
Honey, can you get me 2 cinnamon sticks from the
Yes,
pantry? Or I guess actually snag me 4, please.
4 cinnamon sticks.
That's
Yep.
another good way to start practicing your rhythm lip. Oh, what did you just say? Oh, bowls and plates and bowls and plates.
What level? What layer?
What layer? Bottom shelf. Yep. It's in a bag. They're whole sticks of cinnamon.
I love
Like a big bag. Yeah. Okay, so it'll be to the right of the... Okay.
How zesty do we want this?
What do you mean zesty? All the zest.
like
Oh, okay.
a lot of zesty. And
Sorry,
don't-
was that sarcasm? Sarcasm goes over my head. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
Oh, we're gonna have a good time.
Welcome to my relationship. It's in a
Yeah,
bag.
sarcasm and I do not...
It's on the bottom shelf. It's in a bag. Then bottom shelf is nothing but a bag.
And jars.
In jars, yeah.
And containers.
4.
It's Indian spices. Just whole spices that can be in either, and then into Asian spices.
Smells so good. Oh man.
Thank you.
That's 3. I don't know what this guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
That's
soft.
a big one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. No, that's fine. And then I need, we'll do some whole cloves,
Do not.
which I already took out because I'm
Do
amazing.
not exfoliate some datto skin into the zest.
Wait,
No,
what?
The microplaner
Oh.
Freshly.
will catch you off guard. It'll like slip off the side, and you're like, oh, well, now we got some cheese grated skin right in the
Okay,
zest.
I need this to boil already. Let's go.
Professional right now. You know, I used to have my own show.
We were there, yeah.
Can you slice one of those oranges in half for me, please?
Before the zest?
Yeah,
Or do you want
that's
to-
why I got 3. I need a zest of 2 oranges,
Okay.
and then I need
Yes,
an orange
chef.
in half.
I don't know why I didn't say anything but yes, chef.
Wipe my nose.
There, we hit a boil.
There you go. And the juice? Juice it?
No,
No, chef.
no, it's literally going in.
Datto crank, get out of the way. It's Datto zest.
Zesty.
back of the hair. Wait,
Nice hair.
what? What are you talking about?
Okie dokie.
Is this going to be a future recipe on littlespoon.com and instagram.com/a_littlespoon?
This one's already a recipe. This one's gonna be a recipe. These ones are the ones that are printed are already up. But this guy is the pistachio one is brandy new.
Oh, I leaned over the pot. You can see the back of my hair. Camera angles, they're everywhere.
All right, I'm gonna turn that off. Okay.
How is the quality of zest, babe?
Yeah, can we get a zest check real quick?
You can't get into the pith with a microplane, so whatever you're doing, there's
Good.
nothing you could do wrong.
What is it good enough though?
Yeah,
Not that it's too good.
We're looking
It's
good.
good.
you're looking great.
Do the second. Or finish off.
Yeah.
I love that, bro.
I like microplanes. So unlike other zesters that are like the little handheld flat ones, you literally can't get into the pith. It's like, or it's very, very difficult. Like you would need to be like
It is let
squeezing the orange into
Lep
submission
proof.
in order to, yeah, it is lep proof. Absolutely.
Is there
Can
like
you
a
wash and
great
dry the
Zesting incident of 2019
Yeah,
that we
right.
should know about?
No, it's just something that I've always kind of been like cognizant of and like wanted to make sure that because pith is bitter. And so you don't want that in your, yeah. Sous chef Datto. Yeah. Okay. We'll start chocolate chip cookies now that is going. Let's talk about this real quick. I'm not going to be making this today. This is something that typically takes about an hour to make. This is toasted milk powder. So you would get powdered milk from the store. Any basic powdered milk is fine. And then you put it on the stovetop in like a stainless steel pan, and you just move it around on low temp for like an hour, and it'll start to cook and toast, and it caramelizes the milk solids. So I just browned some butter, right, for these Greek cookies, and there's maybe like 1 to 2 teaspoons in an entire stick of butter of milk fat. But I can put a 1/4 cup of this into a batch of chocolate chip cookies, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And it just really amps up that brown butter flavor without you needing to heat butter and go through the process of like chemically changing the butter, because now you've heated it to toasting and like all that kind of stuff. You lose moisture, it changes the recipe. You have to do a whole bunch of stuff to kind of tinker back. And this way you kind of don't have to. You make a single ingredient, it's shelf stable, sits in your pantry for 6 months, and you can just toss it into whatever you want. And I really appreciate that. And that's why we're going with this. Yeah, thanks for 7. With recipes that require melted butter, it's probably, if you wanted to do brown butter, it's probably easier to go ahead and do brown butter the way you would in a pan. But if you're looking at a cookie that uses the traditional method of mixing a softened butter and sugar together, then adding this in is going to be better than changing the composition of the butter into melting it, trying to get it back to a solid, and then trying to mix everything together. Okay.
I'm on like a paper plate right now, and I blend it over.
All right, let's get, for the chocolate chip cookies, we are going to be using, let us see,
Yes.
I need
Chocolate.
butter.
Original there, Kari.
Yep, butter. You rinse these out?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, chef.
Can you dry them?
Yes, chef. Sorry, chef.
So funny.
You could dock my pay, chef.
No. I will not.
I assume you were putting a water-based ingredient in it.
All right, now that this is done being super boily, we're just gonna steep.
No,
We're steeping the cinnamon sticks while this cools. And then there's like a certain number of cloves. Let's see. You know what I love is that I write these recipes and then I use them. Like I can't just do them from memory. It would be nice if I could just be like, oh, I've made this before. But like I 100% like go to my own stuff and I'm like, what did I do for this? I can't remember. Thank you. We'll leave that.
Oh, get some
there.
bread and turn Lep into an idiot sandwich.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, and then we're gonna just toss the oranges right in.
Right.
And so this will all infuse while it cools.
Probably put 3 Leopards.
This cooking show is way better when only Kari is mic'd. That way we're like peanuts proud in the back, but like turned down.
Yeah. Is this pan gonna be used again?
No,
Should it be washed?
you can. Thank you. He's already a better sous chef.
Which
Yeah, first time.
dish soap?
This guy's dish soap here. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to use.
Who would win a guac battle?
I'm trying to decide if I want to double this guy. This uses 3/4 of a cup of. Oh, that was it. That's what happens when you don't dry the cups before you set
Chef,
them
I
down.
didn't dry the measuring thing now.
It's okay.
I put your recipe
Oh,
in
sorry.
that water.
Sorry, chat. I didn't mean to do that by your ears.
Who won a guac battle? Datto was in the lead.
Oh,
Overlap.
really?
Yeah, overlap.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For what now?
For a guac battle.
Walk off.
Do I want a cup and a half of butter? Should I double this? Let's see. I might not have enough of the powder for it. I need a 1/4 cup of this, which is about 20 grams, 25 grams. Let me get a little bowl. Let's see if I can double this. Little spoon. How much do I actually have? I could do time and a half, but I can't do.
31 grams.
Yeah, I can only make one batch. I'll have to make another batch of toasted milk powder before my class. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you the intensive job of measuring out the dry ingredients for cookie
Put it in
recipes.
these.
No, in a bigger bowl. All the dry ingredients are just gonna go in like a single bowl. And you can use, so here, you could take this. Okay, so I'm gonna be measuring out 170 grams, which is 3/4 of a cup of butter.
I'm
What?
divvying these up based on grams.
Yeah, you can use grams or you can use the
Volumetric.
volume if you really want to. It's not gonna. I think you can do it.
Okay.
Do you want to use this?
No.
I mean, I am almost done with this.
I would. Very emphasized at the beginning.
I know I did.
She likes
Oh,
to
look, exactly 170. Look at me go.
Wow.
I'm getting too good at this.
That's
all I'm saying.
actually.
Okay,
cracked.
so we're gonna go ahead and cream this butter. And basically what that means is we're just gonna take our softened butter and we're gonna let it mix around until it gets to a lighter color. It's gonna get like a lighter shade, and then we're gonna start adding the sugar in and let that run. And when we talk about creaming together butter and sugar, I'll show you kind of what you're looking for. A lot of people do not do this step for the length that it needs to be done. It's like at least 5 minutes of mixing. And it's gonna just keep going. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll zero that out for you. Okay?
Wise! Thanks for the 81!
Hey!
So first up
Okay.
is powdered toasted milk powder. Did you do that?
Toasted milk powder is already done. So I already talked about that. And then if you have it, then you don't have to worry about making anymore.
2 cups of flour. Which one's flour?
They're both flour. Which kind of flour?
Which flour?
It says it's labeled.
All purpose.
Yeah. And if you don't have enough, there's another bag right here because I knew we'd run out. So there's a bag behind you.
225 grams.
Okay.
Right? Not 2. Yeah. 2.25?
Why would you have 2.25 grams of flour?
Yeah, that's like nothing.
Not a lot.
200 or 22.5?
No. Oh my God. It's a cookie. Good Lord.
Hey, man.
All right. How much granulated sugar does it say? It says 3/4 cup of brown and then 1/4.
Granulated is 50 grams.
Okay,
1/4 of a cup of granulated.
All right, that's what I thought. So 1/4 cup and then 3/4 cup of brown. Okay.
Is 165 grams.
I need more all-purpose.
Right behind you there.
Behind you, bro. Your arm. All right, hold on. If you hand me the container, I can transfer. Take a quick look, make sure that there's nothing in this that we don't want there.
Of course, the last little bit, like, poofs.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
How much we got right now? What do you got?
134.
Make sure you zero out before you start measuring again. Otherwise, you're going to have to be doing a lot of math.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I could do that if you want.
225.
225, so not that much.
Oh,
it's ruined.
ruined.
Okay.
Are you okay with 0.7 extra grams of all-purpose flour?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. I thought so.
0.7 grams will probably
0.7
get
is-
lost in the
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Next.
Did you zero out?
Yes.
Okay, what do you need?
Next.
2 tablespoons
No.
powdered milk. Okay. 1 teaspoon baking soda.
Grams.
2.5 grams.
All right. This is baking soda because our baking soda is in that huge whatever.
Why did you say negative?
Also, because I probably touched something. Hold on a second. I need this.
Baking is a science. Well, this science is 0.7 off. That looks so dangerous.
This is normal.
I'm glad you're. I'm scared the mixer is gonna like crush the bowl.
No.
How much did you say the 1/4 cup should be?
Granulated
Yeah.
is 50 grams. 50.
Am I too slow? Is that?
Well, granulated sugar is a lot easier
I
to
thought-
pour than flour.
All right, go ahead. Keep going. No, I need this to cream together. So
Oh,
this
so
is
do
going
that.
before that's going in.
Well, then what's going in here? Was
All
that a
the dry
different-
ingredients.
Those aren't dry?
No,
Sugar's
sugar is a
not
wet
dry?
ingredient. There's moisture in sugar. Sugar is a wet ingredient.
What are you, crazy? What are you, a maniac? You're gonna mix sugar and flour together?
I've never
Like
drank
some sort of
granulated
brownie?
sugar. I'm sorry. All right, this you said this.
That's baking soda in my
Baking
tequila
soda-
shot glass.
Baking soda is 2.5 grams. It's not a lot.
That
Yep.
With
No,
your, with
don't-
your fingies.
Okay, you can give him a.
I'm just
a
dusting
Oh
it.
my god.
why even put
No,
this?
no. There, you can use the.
It's okay.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's about a half a teaspoon.
Keep going. 2.5.
You can do it. You can do it.
All in here.
I'm literally like powder.
1, 2.
Oh, kind of 2.9. I went so slow, and at 2.2, a big
No,
chunk
that's too much.
came out and put me at 2.9. This
We're
Okay.
making brownies. These are gonna turn into brownies.
The chunk's right there. And
Hold on. Wait.
everything I touch gets ruined. Next.
LinkedIn yell. Everything I do sucks.
Okay.
I mean, the rest of them don't seem like dry ingredients.
We only have all-purpose flour, baking soda.
That's
What
not
else?
What it looks like. I mean, you have the unsalted
Is there any-
butter, you have the granulated sugar, you have the brown sugar, which you've done both of those. Oh,
Yep.
5 grams kosher salt.
Oh,
That can get added.
so later, not now.
And the buttered milk,
Oh, you can
buttermilk,
add it.
powdered buttermilk, and then the toasted milk powder also
How much
is
salt?
included in that.
Powdered buttermilk.
Oh, I think it said toasted milk powder.
Yeah,
No,
these go in
powdered
as well.
buttermilk.
You need
There's a big difference there, Leopard.
25 grams of this. All right, what I am doing,
How much?
I'm just.
You can keep talking. We're gonna whisper.
Okay. You can tell him in Imperial too. You don't need to,
No,
to help him along.
Grams. No grams. Gram. Yeah.
Okay, what I'm doing is I'm just scraping down the sides of the bowl because I want to make sure that everything is getting mixed together and I don't have like butter sticking to the side that's not getting mixed in with the sugar and stuff like that. Everything needs to be incorporated. And I'm still going. Like this is still beating.
20?
20.
2-0.
Yeah, because you're using like a teaspoon. It's supposed to be 2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
It is. All right. Here,
I got it. I got it.
All right. All right, I'm almost where I want to be.
Aren't we all?
Okay. So let me give you guys a
You
good
gotta be
look at
little
this.
More careful there, bud. Ooh, 19. Okay. 9.7.
All right. So if you can see, I
Sorry.
don't know where we're sitting here. Ooh, nope. This side?
Yeah, perfect.
We'll wait until it comes over. Okay. So this is what you want this to look like. It's going to be lighter. It's going to like double in volume. And it's going to look very, very incorporated. It's smoother than obviously like if you had undermixed it. But it's you're not gonna like dissolve the sugar into the butter or anything like that. So there's still gonna be like a level of granularity there. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Salt.
Salt is 5 grams. We also have the.
That's a
toasted-
teaspoon, if that's helpful.
We also have the toasted.
Toasted milk powder.
Yeah, that's 25.
And that's a
25
quarter
grams.
cup. There you go. Look at you.
Toasted milk powder.
25 grams. They
Yeah.
look good.
Okay, and then it's in 1 egg plus 1 yolk.
1 egg plus 1 egg yolk.
Cool.
Ew.
Mistakes.
Or honey.
We have
all
happy
over the
accidents.
table here.
That's 25 grams.
25.
Okay. There is a hot debate on how to crack eggs.
Don't make mistakes.
How hot?
We have happy
A lot of
accidents.
people crack eggs on the side of bowls and
No,
stuff like
flat.
that.
Let them know.
Flat.
Well, here, you decide what you want to do. I'm not
I don't
here
wanna
to.
hear it.
I'm not here to tell you what you should or should not do. I'm just
Flat.
going to tell you the perils of each situation, and you decide
Perils.
which one you care more about.
Eggshell cracking.
So if you crack on the side of a bowl like this, there is a higher chance that you're going to send shards of eggshell up into the egg, which will then just immediately fall in the second that you crack everything open and the egg falls out of the shell. So then you're fishing shells out.
Not that. No.
You can minimize that by cracking on a flat surface and just creating a dent in your egg and then going open. So you're not sending anything directly into that fissure that you've created on the side of a bowl. However, sometimes if you don't do that hard enough, you don't like slam down hard enough, then you don't break through the membrane of the egg and you're sitting there trying to like poke through the membrane of the egg, which can be frustrating. And then you end up maybe sending in eggshells anyway. Up to you. I prefer to crack on a flat surface because it's less of a chance of getting shards directly in the egg for me.
I've
So-
also been taught to just crack eggs separately into a bowl first.
Yeah,
in
that's
case there is an issue.
exactly what I'm
Okay, I
doing.
didn't see the bowl there.
Yeah, yes,
Big
that is a very good point that I have never thought of as like a tip. I've
Yes,
always
crack
just
them
done it
separate.
that way. Yeah,
Just
I've always
innate.
crack into a
You're just
separate bowl.
naturally built for
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, always crack into a separate bowl.
Holty, thanks for the 44 months. Woo! And Dan John with 40. Oh my God, big subs.
Yeah, you crack into a separate bowl, so if you do mess it up, you don't have to like dig into your like nice.
Okay. And
thing
now
that you've
actually,
already made.
now that I have done that, I'm thinking about it and I need a yolk. So we're gonna go ahead and
How do you crack your eggs, chat? 55% flat surface, 44% side of bowl. Very hot debate.
See?
Wow.
Told you.
And people will say there's always right, and the other side's wrong.
There we go.
Love it.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our dry ingredients, we've got our eggs, and we've got our butter and our sugars mixed. There is vanilla somewhere in here. How much is that?
Vanilla.
I buy my eggs pre-cracked.
2 teaspoons vanilla extract.
So 10 milliliters. Okay.
Are we done with dry ingredients?
Make mistakes.
You are done with the dry ingredients,
We
yes.
have happy accidents.
That is ready to go.
Monarch Reptar.
What?
Thanks for the 63. I'm an edge cracker, but also go into their own
Make
bowl.
mistakes.
Fight.
Nice.
We have happy accidents.
Boomerang over here. Okay, something I am doing for this recipe.
Sorry.
Can
Live. Nice 3. Talk about this trip.
you mix these
Yes,
together a little bit?
chef.
I'm a little nervous about that buttermilk powder if it was like sticking together. Okay, and there was baking soda, but there's no baking powder. Is that what I did?
Baking powder scanning. Not seeing baking
Cool.
powder.
Okay. So baking soda and baking powder they're kind of similar, but they do different things. So baking powder is baking soda plus citric acid. And so you would use that in a lot of places where you don't have an acid. But brown sugar actually has enough acid in it that it does create a chemical reaction with the baking soda. They both create lift. They're a leavening agent if you're not using yeast. However, baking soda is going to give you a denser cookie and baking powder is going to give you a fluffier, cakier texture, which is why I probably didn't put baking powder in this because I want these to be a little bit more dense, chewy cookies. Okay, I'm not cutting my cookie or cutting up chocolate today. I usually use chocolate bars when I am using or when I'm making cookies because there's less wax coating on the outside of a chocolate bar. The like little morsels and things like that, they all have like non-caking agents so they like don't stick to each other in the bags. And then it ends up with just like a little bit of a waxiness that you like maybe don't want in cookies. It's up to you, honestly. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, whatever your vibe is. I am going to use these today though. I attended a like virtual summit for pastry and was like looking at some of the chocolate classes, and Ghirardelli had a link in there and was like, it's Ghirardelli, isn't it? I think you pronounce the G. And Ghirardelli had a link in there that was like, hey, if you want 10 pounds of chocolate, submit this form. And I was like, no strings attached? Sure. Yeah. So I have a bag of dark chocolate and a bag of milk chocolate, and these are actually for baking, so they don't have that same coating that the morsels do. So I'm going to use these today instead of like sitting and like chopping a bunch of chocolate.
What you're saying is, thanks for sponsoring the stream.
Something like that. I mean, I could talk about a lot of the ingredients that I'm using today that I'm like a huge fan of, but yeah.
No, hey, you don't do that until you start getting paid.
Come on. Best chocolate. Ghirardelli is a great chocolate for just going like to the supermarket. Like it's probably my preferred supermarket chocolate. If I was gonna go into the higher scale stuff, Valrhona is an excellent chocolate maker for pastry chefs and bakers and all that kind of stuff. You can get their stuff on Amazon. You can, I think, purchase right from their website. It's Valhorna. And they have some really fun like flavorings of chocolate. So they have like ruby chocolate. They have something they call dulce, which is a caramelized white chocolate that I have used before. Yeah, that I've used before, and it is, it's such a good chocolate. I have some actually in the pantry, but they've got great chocolate too. If you're looking for something like that.
Viewership for this stream is higher than Solo GM's. Shocker.
Yeah, I have a picture of it. I got this bag and another one of equal size that's milk chocolate, and I was like, I cannot believe this actually happened.
So many.
3
At least
pounds?
40.
It's
5 pounds.
It's 2,000 and 270 kilograms.
How do you
Or
sharpen your
grams.
knife?
270 kilograms.
No, it's 2.27. Sorry, I meant grams. It's 2.27
This is for
kilograms.
rudiment. I do the
What are
knife
we doing?
sharpening.
Oh, we have a whetstone.
We have a whetstone that I use. 6,000.
It's Ghirardelli.
Where is your dry stone?
You don't need dry stone. You need wet stones that are actually wet and wet.
I don't know about that.
But the technique.
Oh,
to
hey, I didn't even
sharpen
notice
them
that.
Is like
Okay.
you can never stop improving. I'm
Okay.
like every time I go to sharpen them, I do a better job.
You want to weigh out the chocolate for me, please?
Yes, chef.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in vanilla and I'm going to add in the eggs. We've got the creamed butter and sugar ready to go. And when I add my eggs in, I do kind of the same thing. I'm going to let it mix for a couple of minutes because I want them to be fully incorporated and I want them to kind of start forming a structure with the sugar and the
We don't make mistakes.
butter.
We have
so
happy
go ahead.
accidents.
Taco, then 12.
340.5 grams chocolate. Bittersweet or semi-sweet? Preferably.
Yeah, so this is a bittersweet chocolate. It's okay. Semi-sweet and bittersweet. Honey,
What are you doing?
you're a mess. They all depend on the percentage. Thank you. They all depend on the percentage of cocoa powder. And so if you have like 100% unsweetened dark chocolate, that is,
right here.
yeah. Dark chocolate typically starts, I think, around like 60% cocoa powder all the way up to 100%. And then in there you
Before
have your
what?
semi-sweet and your bittersweet. And then you have your milk chocolate. So if you're between,
Good enough.
oh my gosh.
Actually, just like nibble at one of them for
Yeah,
just,
I
like, a
thought
little
about
bit
it.
and then put it back in.
I thought about it.
All right, let's do this. And I, again, am just going to make sure that I am scraping down the sides of my bowl, that everything is getting incorporated appropriately.
White chocolate, not actually chocolate. True.
Yeah. It depends on who you ask, but yeah, in a technical sense, it is not, there is no cocoa powder in it. It's just cocoa butter and sugar.
Mini Pat says, I did not know this was a thing. This is great. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
That we do once a year.
Yeah, once a year. Okay, so our vanilla is going in. This is the good vanilla. This is another company I'd be happy to push, regardless of sponsorship.
This stream, one day, brought to you by
Nielsen Massey.
Nielsen Massey.
Oh,
Big
man.
fan of what?
Nielsen Massey.
Yeah.
Their extracts are fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you guys where I am with this. So the egg has fully incorporated in. If you can see, now we've got a little bit of sugar dissolves there. And then we've got a much smoother, it almost looks like it could be frosting. And so now that we've done this first half of the whole process, you mix and you mix and you mix, you mix. And then once you add in your dry and any of your mix-ins, your toppings, your fold-ins, whatever you want to call them, the second that you don't see dry flour, you turn it off. It's like a very, very quick thing. We're not,
happens?
or when you overmix, you actually, all that air that you've incorporated in, you knock out. And then it ends up getting
Dense.
tough and dense, and it's not what you want in a cookie. You want the cookie to kind of just melt and fall apart. And so that's why the second half, when you're adding your dry ingredients in, it's like very, very fast. Okay. So we're gonna just slowly add this stuff in. Yeah, see, I'm seeing like big pieces of the buttermilk powder. People might get some really fun stuff with this buttermilk powder going on.
Exclamation point menu.
Do you think I could take an immersion blender to this?
Yeah, you want me to?
Can you put this in the blender for me?
Yeah.
We're gonna hold off on that for just a second.
Not food processor.
No. You can stick it in the blender. It'll blend fine. There you go.
How about getting all the powder out?
It'll just coat. It won't be that bad. It'll be okay. And if anything, because you've like fully incorporated it, it won't come out where like you're missing a lot of one ingredient. Does that make sense? So like it'll all come out at the same ratio. Like whatever sticks will be the same ratio coming out.
Right.
I don't know if that makes much sense, but I'm trying.
I get it.
Yeah, it'll be consistent.
Yeah.
I won't like take out a bunch of the salt and none of it.
Shout out to the KitchenAid crew. Yes, I also, all of my appliances except for my induction cooktop are KitchenAid. Because I also like KitchenAid a
This
lot.
stream brought to you by KitchenAid.
I know. And I have a Vitamix. I like it. I have a really old version of the Vitamix. I'm sure they're.
Elsewhere, we blended right here.
Oh, you can. I can mute for a second. You want me to mute?
I thought that out.
It's just. Yeah, it's
Well,
just.
I mean, you just gotta go.
Turn it up higher. Yeah.
Full blast?
Yeah.
Oh, full blast?
You can. Okay, stop. That's good. Cool.
I feel like the edges weren't moving very much.
It's better than it was.
Oh, do you want the bowl?
No, I'll just pour it right on. Yeah, that looks good.
Did
Okay.
it heat it up at all?
No, not in that time. Not in that time.
No.
No.
We've had issues where like, oh no, we accidentally cooked it in the blender. And we're like, crap.
Yeah, so in the same way that induction cooktops work, friction causes heat. And so you can actually like heat soup up in a blender if you let it go around enough.
You want to pour that slowly into the bowl?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pour it out of here. I don't need the bowl.
Okay. Nightbot, give us a KitchenAid shout out. Shout out to KitchenAid for helping make all these inspired home chefs rock the kitchen, whether you're baking, mixing, or whipping up delicious creations. KitchenAid's got your back. Karen definitely gives it the left spoon of approval. God, you can tell when something is made by AI.
Let me
Yeah,
I need to
because
get
nobody
this.
talks like that.
Okay, so this
We don't
We're
make mistakes.
advertisers, am I right?
I just the flour is, I can't see it, but there is a bunch at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like fold in and mix the bottom into and make sure that that also gets incorporated in the same way that I was doing before. I'm just gonna scrape the sides of the bowl down and just make sure that this all goes in together.
It is.
Blue Man, thanks for the multiple months.
Resub.
13 months. Woo!
Okay,
Cooking.
and then we're gonna just toss these in.
And Vito with the 4. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for the money. By the way, look at this really cool Instagram and website. Top of your screen.
What did you do? What?
Top of the screen has your social.
Oh, that was cool. Thanks, babe.
Anyway, thanks for the sacks. Cooking sacks.
Ooh,
Woo!
that's a great type of sax.
Sounds complicated. Okay.
Okay. Let's fold these guys in. Let's set this down on this plate that I've been using as a trash can.
What did you say was for dinner tonight? Oh,
Tomato soup.
Grilled cheese. Tomato soup, grilled cheese. Jen!
We don't make mistakes.
82 months.
We have
Day 1 resub.
Ooh.
Tier 2, that was mine. Echo Crafty. or no echo, because I'm
Okay.
just getting that shoulder into it.
There we go.
Wrist action.
And this is our key.
Oh, Diddy. Yes, this is walk cam for that overhead view walk cam.
Okay.
I need to buy 2.
Let's do some scoops.
Scoops.
I feel like we should do smaller ones just so we have more, but I was just at the store.
Yeah.
And I did not get, I have a single cookie scoop. It holds about 2 tablespoons, or makes about a 48 to 50 gram cookie. And because both my little guys are broken. So you guys are gonna get apparently very large-ish cookies at GCX. When I say large-ish, I mean like, they'll be like this instead of like little guys. Okay. You want to do the honors of scooping onto a tray? Do you need me to show you? Or actually, yeah, we'll just scoop them on. We're not going to bake them yet. So just scoop them on and then have fun with that. And if you feel like it, because I always feel like it, you can take a couple of individual pieces of chocolate out of the bag and just stick them on the top so we make sure that we've got like chocolate on the top of the cookie.
Oh, okay.
Yay. No, you're good.
Sticking job is pretty slow.
Yeah.
What are how spaces?
It doesn't matter. You can get them close to each other. That's for chill. We're gonna chill them for as long as we can.
Oh, so like, get it in
Yeah, just get them
Yeah,
close.
you can get them close because we'll move them to another pan.
It's fine. Just fail. Go to the next.
Just fail.
Fail and go to the
Right
next.
here.
Okay. Technique to the
There you
smushing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I'm reading chat.
It's your show.
If you're on.
Okay.
You're harder to block.
Let's move on. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to our snowball cookies. And we'll get these guys ready. So this is basically the same process. I'm gonna take butter. And I guess let me show you guys this too while we're at it. And now I've got like a nice clean space. Where did he put this? This is here. Okay. So this is softened butter. You may have recipes that tell you that you need frozen butter, that you need refrigerated like temperature butter, that you need softened butter, that you need room temperature butter, that you need melted butter, that you need brown butter, right? So from like all the way frozen to like all the way cooked and toasted. When somebody tells you that they want you to have softened butter, this is the texture that you want to have. You want to be able to push in. Whoop, my hands are very warm and I'm melting it. Where?
Hot hands.
Yeah. You want to be able to, here, I'm going to go a little bit further into the brick here. You want to be able to push in and you have to push to get give. Okay. Whereas if someone says, I want room temperature butter, and this is going to be funny, it's just going to like immediately go straight down, like with very, very little give. Okay. And actually, I don't know if this is helpful or not, but for science purposes, let's do the temperature of these butters. So obviously this is room temperature. So it's going to be whatever the temperature in your house is, but typically it's going to be between say 70 and 76 degrees.
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Yeah. Ooh, what is that in Celsius?
27. No idea.
No, it is not.
That is not right.
That is not even
That is
close.
absolutely not right.
Up or down?
Okay,
Definitely
so
down.
apologies. I don't transfer.
22.
I don't calculate Fahrenheit to Celsius as well as I do imperial to metric.
19 to 20.
Okay.
We don't make mistakes.
Thank you. And then if you're doing something that is softened,
Shovel!
what are we looking at?
Shovel for 3 years.
We are at 60. 64. So it'll be between 62 and like 66 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, 64 Fahrenheit is 18 Celsius.
Nice.
Okay, then what is 74?
74 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
The first one was
Originally?
somebody said 19 to 20.
73 or 74 Fahrenheit is about 23 Celsius.
I said 27.
You said 27,
Ah,
which is
oh,
3
oh, okay.
degrees.
Okay.
3 off.
So there you
Wow. Hey, that makes a difference when you're baking.
go. What are
Oh, she did not appreciate your
Oh, then they were vertical?
vertical, because they're just gonna melt and like blob.
I don't. They're gonna like drip down the sides of it.
Alright, I get one vertical.
Okay, you can do a vertical cookie
One
for yourself.
vertical.
That's really funny. Okay, so anyway, this is how your butter should be, I guess, between when you're reading it and it's like room temperature softened. Like, what does that even mean? That's where we are. Okay, I am going to need
One giga cookie.
1 cup. I'm gonna just, you know what? We're gonna use one that hasn't been touched. 1 cup, 2 sticks,
Mistakes.
or 227
We have happy
grams
accidents.
of butter.
Oh,
What?
Red for the 21. Welcome back. Thanks for the money.
Okay. I have a second bowl there.
Just OSHA whipper.
Yeah.
Cookies on that.
Okay. The whole stick is gonna go in. These are for the pistachio paste stuffed snowball cookies. And a snowball is it's basically kind of like a shortbread. But sometimes it will have eggs, sometimes it won't. This recipe does have eggs in it. But like when you think about if you've ever had like a Mexican wedding cookie or a Russian tea cookie, that's essentially what this is. I'm just adding pistachios into the cookie base and I am stuffing it with a pistachio paste. The pistachio paste is not something that we're going to make today. But just so you know what it is actually, I guess there is a recipe for it up on Instagram and on my website, which I guess socials are up top. If you want to go look at Instagram, it's the recipe that went up this morning. Pistachio paste is essentially a roasted, candied nut butter. And it's, I hate to say the word nut butter. I just know that most people are going to understand what that means. It's thicker than that. Like it's a paste. It's not meant to be something that you like spread or drizzle. It's something that you would use as like a pastry filling, and maybe just to like eat with a spoon because it's delicious. But that's where we are on that one. Okay, so I'm going to be using a full cup of butter that has been softened, and I'm going to be using confectioner sugar or icing sugar in this guy. And I'm going to be doing 1 1/4 cups of that. Are you eating that?
Raw egg, yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's not the egg, the flour too.
Raw flour?
Like, okay, so the thing about eggs, like the inside of eggs are okay. It's the outside that can get you sick.
So don't eat the outside of an egg unless you cook it.
Don't eat the outside of an egg, but
Exactly.
that's where the germs are, right? That's where the quote unquote danger lies. But flour needs to be cooked. It needs to be cooked before you can.
What?
Well, before you're supposed to eat it.
The flour is just ground up wheat.
Yeah.
Just wheat.
There's still living like
Okay.
whatever things in it. It's
Okay.
not like everything can go bad. Everything can be bad.
Yeah.
You just have
One
to
bird
like.
also
Started. Okay.
Rice. Yeah. Fungi in the rice and flour.
You know what they
Yeah,
say,
and so
pretty fun guy.
if you ever see a recipe for like, eat cookie dough, kind of a like, if edible cookie dough, it'll either use chickpeas instead of flour, which is it's delicious. It's so good. Or it'll have you toast your flour at a really low temperature in order to kill off whatever bacteria may be in it, and then you'd use toasted flour. toasted flour in the recipe. So then you can just eat it.
I'm here for a good time, Kari. Not a long time. Says wise.
Yeah, you can get E. coli and salmonella from raw flour. Thank you, Gurgle.
Thanks for sponsoring the stream.
Drink water.
Can you put those in the refrigerator, the back fridge, where there's space?
In where?
Follow
You
me.
should probably let him. Yeah.
Follow me.
Okay.
We have 7 or 8 fridges.
No, we don't.
Right.
He said we have 7 or 8 fridges. We don't, but we do have too many. I have the main refrigerator, which is basically fresh produce and sauces and condiments of every shape, size, make, model. And then we have a fridge in the garage that was supposed to be a beer fridge, but has turned into a bread fridge in the top freezer, and then extra eggs, butter, milk, and beer. And then we have a deep freezer that all the bulk cooking goes into. So, yay! It is a baking stream. Oh, because it said cooking stream? Sorry, it is a baking stream. Maybe not the eggs. All those things can be beer. You need more beer to displace all the non-essentials. The entire bottom shelf is beer, and then like the middle and top shelves are the ones that have like other ingredients. Okay, I'm looking for, let's see, 135 grams of confectioner sugar. All right, do you guys want to do the dry ingredients
Yes,
again?
chef.
Goodness. Okay.
Can I move these oranges?
Yeah,
Chef?
you can move them out of the way. We don't need them.
What is that?
Their purpose has been
Oh,
fulfilled.
they are?
What's going on?
Oh, pressure water.
That's next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're pressure. That sounds like a weed whacker. Do you weed eat or do you weed whack?
The what?
Is it a weed eater or a weed whacker?
whacker?
I say
Weed whacker.
I say weed whack.
Because of the alliteration.
Yeah.
My mom always said weed eat. Eating weeds.
Well.
This is awesome, not gonna lie. Nice change of pace. I mean, I guess if you want to bring it back, I can start malding about like getting ingredients wrong or like throwing and washing a dish.
Nice
That's okay. I don't need
No.
attitude.
All right, get the
No
recipe.
chef.
Melanoma. Here we go.
Weed whipper.
Melanoma.
Melanoma corona. I caramba macarena.
Okay.
Dark guac, not today. No guac today. We just made guac like.
Oh,
2
we're
days ago.
doing this guy. I hope you can read mine. I think you can probably read mine.
Sanskrit. Can you read Sanskrit? How
It's
are
not
your
as bad. It's not as
hieroglyphics?
bad as Danny's.
How's your glyph reading skills?
I'm not sure anybody could read Danny's handwriting.
Danny could.
I could read it, but like just barely. Okay. This.
Edging.
And then
Oh, an edger for the weed whacker.
Yeah.
I call it. I would call it an edger
edging.
more than a weed whacker.
Yeah.
But there is an actual edger.
I know, but I use mine for edging because I'm not gonna buy 2 tools to do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Can a weed whacker really edge?
If
You're
not-
talking
if
like the
you're not a little
edger,
bitch
the,
about it, yeah.
the spinning metal
I just turn it.
turns aside.
Yeah, well,
You
mine's
go down
not
the
metal.
sidewalk?
Mine has like one of those
Okay.
things where it's like a plastic wire that just like whips around
How are
really
you
fast.
edging the sidewalk?
There you
You just turn it.
Oh, you're not getting down deep.
How deep do you need to get?
You need to cut the root.
I'm getting down enough.
Okay.
I'm getting down. I mean,
bet.
Look, it's my house.
I've never done yard work since I moved out of my mom's house. So, okay, sorry, chef.
Okay. Good. I'm just.
No, what are we
picking out-
doing? You said I needed.
220
You're doing the
grams
dry
of flour.
ingredients. Grab,
Oh,
grab yourself a bowl,
oh.
bro. So you can use the same one that you used before. That's fine.
Cool.
220 grams AP flour.
AP flour.
220. We'll move the cake flour out of the way.
We can move all of honestly,
Yeah.
like we can move stuff. This is not being used anymore. This is done.
watch this. Are you ready to be amazed?
I'm ready. Game on if Lev's gonna go over under. I'm saying I'll keep it under. Ooh, 208.
Look at that.
Ooh! I mean, this is
219.4. 220 on the dot.
that's
Let's go.
never gonna happen again.
Okay, 120.
I love that you guys are turning it into a thing.
Gamify.
That's how you
Move
stay
everything away
motivated.
from it. Yeah.
What's next? Sorry, what was next?
1 cup of ground almond flour, 120 grams. We're not doing a half. Right, we're not doing any sort of half. No half measures.
Nope.
120. Did you re-zero? You re-zero. Good.
What does that mean?
You
He did it.
Tari? I think it's Tari. You zero out the machine.
Good.
Smidge. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be asinine about it. That was nothing, and it
Be asked
moved.
a 10 about it.
Bro, I did like
You didn't realize how little the
I took out
measurements
3
are?
atoms
I know.
of
3
almond flour.
3 atoms.
Water.
Where's my,
No,
I just
almond
realized, like, where is
extra
this?
salt.
I'm so
I think
thirsty.
that's it. Half teaspoon of salt.
Oh,
Mhm.
salt. Granulated? Or
Yeah.
normal?
Kosher salt.
Brick salt.
Yep. Oh, salt lick. You gotta take the microplane and just like.
Sorry, so how much?
Half a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Gram me.
There is no gram. It's 5 grams? You pinch and dabble it in there. You're fine.
Half a teaspoon?
What? How much? Wait, 5 grams is 1 teaspoon.
Okay, so half a teaspoon. So 2.5.
Yes.
Did I not write what it was? Yeah, it's like 1.2, 2.4. Oh, okay. Half a teaspoon.
Is that good?
Yeah, that'll be okay. Go ahead and toss
What's
it in.
wrong with it?
Toss it in.
What's wrong with it?
Toss it in.
Is it
It's
too high?
just not level. No. Okay, just toss it in.
How much? What are you thinking?
It'll be fine. I have,
2.5.
even if it's
It's
under,
off
like
right
there's
now.
salt on the pistachios.
0.7.
1.7.
You'll be fine. There's
No.
salt on the pistachios.
Now, 2.5 milliliters would be a teaspoon.
We're talking grams.
Well, you can have volume of a solid.
Yeah, you
now,
can.
when you convert water from
I'll fill your
milliliters,
volume with my solid. How about
I mean, for free? 2.5 milliliters
That
of
gets
water
confusing for people, though,
would be
I think. At least
2.5
for Americans, it
grams
does.
of water. Because 1 milliliter
Is
1
1 gram of water.
based on water.
But not
density.
on something that
But-
else is more viscous. So, like,
that?
Right.
Viscous, my favorite word.
is it really?
But
I love that
salt
word, too.
got air in it, so it's going to be way lighter.
Yeah,
Well, not just because it's just less dense.
yeah.
Way less dense than water.
Yeah, but then there's always gonna be like spaces in between.
Spaces in
each
between, right.
thing of salt.
So like when you're scooping volume, if you're measuring volume of flour, you're not supposed to scoop and say, oh wait, that's half a cup or whatever. You're supposed to scoop and then dump it into another scooper because I've compressed the flour.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and also
Denser.
there's
You
also
can-
differences between packed and unpacked
Yeah.
measurements.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, with flour and baking, it should be about 128 grams per cup. And you can if you like scoop in and then level, and you don't have that like aeration, you can end up with like 30% more flour than a recipe would
Right.
need,
Why
and
my
that's
recipe
just
suck?
dry.
Okay, all I'm hearing is 30% more for free, baby. That's a deal. That's a bargain.
Yeah, I'm picking out the green ones. That's what I'm doing. In case everybody's
That's-
wondering, while they talk around me, I'm just picking out green
You know,
green
We're just
pistachios.
filling the void of
That's a
silence.
great comment. Compound says,
What?
I wonder why Kari isn't wearing her own merch like the other two. I just realized we both have our own
Oh
merch on.
shoot! Hold on.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
Good point.
Because she didn't think about it.
A little spoon apron.
Merch you can't buy. That's for her.
Yeah, you can't buy it though.
Custom.
My brother bought this for me for Christmas. Is it? Am I knocking it? Is it okay?
Probably okay.
Okay.
You can clip to it, but I forgot. Yeah,
This is just so you don't forget who we are.
yeah, because obviously
Who any of us
star of
are?
the show. I'm still relevant.
Yay.
LepCon charity merch, by the way. All proceeds go to St. Jude. We usually raise $300 to $500. Exclamation point LepCon. This is not the shirt.
I
I
thought
just
you meant
bought
for the charity stream. Like, yeah, we raised $300 yesterday. It was great.
I just bought my charity shirt this morning.
Cool.
And for those that missed it, exclamation point GCX for a 7-minute highlight video of the three of us raising money because of you to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where we had a Monty Python and the Holy Grail styled theme incentives. I was King Arthur. Dad was Patsy.
Yep.
Carrie was nothing but reading donations.
I was GCX.
Although,
I was GCX branded.
In the beginning, the intro, you were the knight you were the guard who gets stabbed outside the castle.
Yep.
She did not get stabbed.
I did not get stabbed though. That would have been unfortunate.
Yes.
That did not happen. All right, I think that's probably, it's probably a little too much, but we'll see where we are. All right, that's all done and ready to go.
Done.
Cool.
AP flour, there's almond flour. Oh, did we do baking powder? I don't
No,
think we did baking
we
powder.
did not do baking
Okay.
powder.
Before we do that, can you tell me what the gram was on the pistachios?
On the
It should be just above the
pistachios.
salt on the bottom.
105.
Ooh, very low.
no.
I need 40 more. I'm
Oh
about
my
halfway.
goodness.
Okay, we're gonna just like call it what it is. I was trying not to use this
You trying to get green?
and like,
Call a
huh?
spade a spade, call
trying to get-
pistachio
Yeah, we're just
pistachio.
gonna, cause it's faster if
Trying
I
to
can
get
do
green.
it out of the
You're trying to
bag.
get green butter.
Well, I don't know. I want them to, sometimes the yellow is kind of okay. Green is good. When they get like a dark brown, they kind of will like, they're
You want me
like
to
not
pick
good
out a green
anymore.
one so you can do something that takes skill.
Something that
What do
takes
you
skill.
mean?
I'm almost
Finding
done.
the green ones does take skill.
Yeah, you need to know what to look for. Do you even know what to look for?
Green.
Yeah, but it's
Not all of them are
Oh,
like
but
that.
But okay.
Like that's a green one. Did
Oh,
you,
God,
Did
no.
you know that?
Is it?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, if you open that up, that'll be green.
Okay, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm just making sure we didn't forget baking powder. It's 3.8 grams, 1 teaspoon.
We don't make
Powder.
mistakes.
I'll just do it now.
We have happy accidents.
No.
You can do
looks
2 halves,
so
you can
big.
do 4 quarters.
Okay, wow.
What?
Great. Baking powder.
Powder.
Double acting. McCrinkle, thanks for 15 months off primers. Welcome back. One second. Can this be,
So use the
Unpacked.
ridge to level it.
Yeah.
can this be, okay.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
There you go.
Yep, just like that.
Cool.
Look at that. That's smooth.
Happy accidents.
Whoever invented the ridge on
Yeah,
the inside of the can
I agree.
should be like a billionaire.
Yeah, I agree. Nobel Prize right there.
The ridge. 1 teaspoon. I'm just dumping it in, no grams.
1 teaspoon.
Yeah,
that's
that's
3.8
okay.
grams. I mean,
It'll be good.
it's-
You'll be okay.
The bigger volumes, sure, we'll measure it out. But a teaspoon,
Krimska.
well, like cringe-ska.
Thanks for 29 months
I'm
of
sure you're great.
free money.
I'm sure you're great.
Carrie, how are Datto?
That was a good one. I'm sorry.
I missed it. What was it?
He said more like cringe. I'm sure you're great.
Carrie, how are Datto and Love doing in terms of health?
They're great. They're doing great. I'm really appreciative. You guys are doing fantastic.
Didn't even bribe her to say that.
Yeah. That was all me.
Free praise.
All right, I'm gonna start.
What do I do with this?
I'm gonna start mixing this butter up
Is this
to get it ready for this. That needs to be blitzed.
Oh,
Yeah, you're actually gonna heat that under the breath of your own mouth.
So what I did in this recipe,
Leave on it for the next
I-
6 hours.
I made this recipe with almond flour, as most Russian tea cookies, Mexican wedding cookies, snowballs are apt to use. They use all-purpose flour and they use almond flour, and then you would like mix in pistachios.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
Oh, you're
I wanted to have something that was akin to an almond flour and use pistachios. So pistachios are going to get put in the blender until they are essentially the same like grind as the almond flour, and it's going to be, instead of all almond flour, it'll be like half of that mixture instead is going to be pistachio flour. And that's what we're gonna do.
I never use spray.
Spray is good for just like getting stuff off.
I dropped
think-
one pistache. Is that okay, or should I replace it?
No, it's okay. We're actually gonna need more than that. I thought I rewrote this.
How are we blitzing this?
I don't know. You just gotta turn those suckers to smithereens. You gotta do.
Like pulse it? Or
Yeah. Yep.
drop- I
But
don't
now,
know.
hold on a second here.
Yeah, I know this is advanced. Wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I need to have that back actually, because I didn't write.
Chef, with all due respect,
This
you
is
spent
my-
47 seconds setting that up.
This is a recipe that I didn't write out yet. So I actually
We're just going off the dome right now.
Gimp asked, "Is there a
I didn't
fear?
write it out all the way because I
Is there a
haven't.
fear the pistachio flour is going to turn into
What?
paste with the blender?"
I have no fear.
Not if you stop it.
That's why I wanted her
One
to
fear.
supervise my blitzing.
One fear.
No fear, unless okay.
Sorry. Oh goodness. Okay, I mean,
Now you
this
know
is
how
actually
he-
the perfect amount. You
now
take
you
this.
know how he landed in.
This needs to get blitzed.
Okay. Well,
Oh, it would be nice if I gave you back the actual blender. What do you say? Whoa.
wow.
Sorry, guys. Sorry for your ears. There you go. Got it? Okay.
Guys, I have great news.
Oh, yeah?
My mortgage statement is ready to view. Just got it in from Chase.
Has it changed?
No,
No.
literally no. And it's on auto pay.
Yeah.
What is that? At least they're not sending you paper statements on top of the email, on
No,
top
but
of a
my
text,
ins-
on top of the
My
whatever.
insurance does that, and it's very annoying.
Why? Like, I feel like I've told people before, like, please, I want, like, I've
Yeah.
gone online and been like, give me a paper, or don't give me a paper statement, give me just a digital, and they still
same
send
thing.
it.
Technique for blitzing.
Yee, yee,
You,
yee.
you're gonna want to go
10.
all the way up.
10.
Yeah, 10, and then flip the left switch.
Oh, with it on.
Yes.
How long?
It's
good.
30
How-
seconds.
how big-
Okay, I'm gonna watch from here,
How
and I'll
big
tell you
do
when.
you want the pieces?
Like flour. Like you're gonna want it.
There you go.
You're gonna want it to be like this.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn it on. You tell me when.
Go
Are you
ahead.
ready?
Pistachio
Yeah.
flour, right?
Yeah, we're making like the pistachio flour.
Get set.
Go. What music did you play?
I don't know. I gotta go check.
They played this song at my wedding. Nice.
The music should be so quiet.
Well, they had nothing else to listen to. Okay. Yay! The batteries died on the mic. So it will, I mean, like, if you let this go for forever, so that was like, what, 30 seconds of blending. And it gets, I'll do one of these. You get just essentially what you would get with like almond flour. And it does clump a little bit, but that's all gonna get mixed out. My hand is totally in the way. There you go. So it's just, and that's gonna go in. As much of it as I can dig out of this thing. Knock that off. We're gonna move that down. Yeah, the fear of having paste, like not only would you need to kind of blend it for a really long time, you'd also need like a lot more volume in here because as it blends, the stuff that turns into powder goes underneath the blades and it kind of just like hangs out stuck up against the corners and it's not getting touched. It's like only the stuff that's really actually actively in the process of like getting ground down is kind of like floating around on top. What timing? Soon as the blender started, like maybe 30 seconds, not long at all. But you're gonna want to go like max, like you want it to immediately start working because, like we talked about earlier, when you're blending, you're creating heat from the friction of all of the ingredients bouncing around against each other and against the blades. So the longer that you have it spinning, the warmer it gets. The warmer it gets, the more oils come out of the nuts, and then you get paste. So you do want it to be like super high powered, super fast, and then done. Mid blend, the batteries went out. Great timing.
We blended the mic. Will it blend? Remember that?
They don't upload
I don't know.
frequently, but they still have one or two here or there. It's not even, I mean, the YouTube channel is just advertising their blender.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a full show, like.
It should have
This is
been.
what the YouTube channel is.
All right. I am gonna have you guys do like a second batch, but it's gonna be just for like coarse ground. Like it's not gonna be anything that's this fine.
Okay.
Or you can chop it with a knife. Up to you.
How
How are you feeling?
I can read what's the game.
Okay.
Half
Yeah.
lit.
Half blitz.
Just, you know.
Let's get partially blitz.
Four-man push. We're not setting the whole front line.
Okay.
Still gonna have the safeties, cover two.
Okay. So I'm gonna be doing about a cup. A typical recipe is gonna use like a cup of almond flour. I'm gonna do a half cup of that and then a half cup of the pistachio flour that we've made. And then I'm also going to have the 3/4. This is where the 105 grams came into. I'm gonna have 3/4 of a cup of kind of like ground up into coarse grind pieces of pistachio that are gonna get mixed in so that you get little pops of pistachio. And it's kind of added in as like a mix-in would be if you were gonna add like chopped nuts or chocolate or something like that to a cookie. Do you wanna look for a green?
I literally am not an expert at all in pistachios.
You're just gonna look for like when you see. kind of
I
thing.
will try.
If there's a little bit of like yellow or something like that on the outside, like that's like this is fine. That's perfectly fine. It's just when you get to something like this territory, like I don't want to eat that. Or I don't want to serve that to someone. I would still eat it, but I don't want to serve that to someone, especially the people at GCX. We're not doing that.
Know the quality of
yeah, they're going to taste it. They're going to be like, "Oh no. There was a brown nut in here that Kari missed." But you know what? If I have you guys do it, then they can't blame me for it. It could be like, "Oh, was that
My sushi.
That wasn't me. What are you talking about? I could never have done that." Totally did it. I totally.
So this is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
Is there a clip?
There are clips in my
How do you know?
desk.
It's closed.
That was closed, yeah. There are clips in my desk if you want to clip that shut.
What do we need to get this to?
105 grams. And I can pour here because I've gone through. I'll give you like a whole bunch to kind of pick through it. Much more? Yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm a little, this has been sitting out for a little longer than I'd like. I'm just going to stick it into the refrigerator to get it a little cooler. Oh no, she's off camera. Oh no. This is the, oh, get on camera.
Oh.
This is, what? No. This is the brown butter that has solidified in the refrigerator.
Ooh. Put it in the
So,
mixer area.
The mixer cam.
I recommend if you're making a cookie that uses brown butter in it and they're telling you just to like pour it right into the batter, and you're a person that like say doesn't want like a ton of spread in your cookies, and you also don't want to chill your cookies for forever to have that butter kind of like set back up, I would tell you to do this. If you put your brown butter into the refrigerator for like 30 or 45 minutes, it'll get to like a semi-solid kind of state again, or solid for this case because it was in there for longer than that. And you can mix it in and you can actually whip it like you would whip regular butter, and get that back incorporated into the recipe, and it will be better. The only thing to keep in mind is that I've taken all of the liquid out of this butter. It burned off. That's how that works. And so you need to add a tablespoon of water or lemon juice or something else that's going to get added back into the cookie. Recipes where people are having you use brown butter will probably have a liquid in there. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. But like I wouldn't add this like already melted. I would almost always, even if it went against the recipe, I would stick this in the refrigerator and just get it back into a like softened butter consistency and then like put it into the recipe like that instead of just pouring in melted butter. What's that for? Are you taking notes? God, you're such... Lep notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was
like
gonna...
how the bubbles freeze.
Yeah, they're little, like...
Frozen air pockets.
Yeah. Well, there's like fat coated around them, so
Yeah,
you're like...
baby.
Okay. Yeah, baby.
Very familiar.
Okay, so that's for the Greek cookies. Do I have any? I don't think that there are eggs in that cookie. There is not. You can put the eggs away instead of leaving. They are done. I don't need them. They go in the back fridge. Those are, I specifically bought those for baking.
Fridge 14.
Oh, actually, I'm a liar. I'm a liar. I need one egg. Hand me one egg, and then you can put those away.
Yeah, and the Benz.
Benz.
It's in between those.
Fridge between the Benz and the Corvette. You open it. I'm not feeling it.
Thank you. Cool.
Almost there. 98.8.
Nice. Oh,
A lot of this.
I just had a thought.
Can't relate.
The entire cup of almond flour went in, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. We have to try to take 60 grams of almond flour out of this, and I don't know if that's possible. I may scrap this and start over because I hadn't written down that I wanted to start using half of the pistachio. It was something that I had in my head, and I didn't rewrite this as a second version of this recipe yet. And so we have the full cup here instead of a half cup and a half cup.
I feel like I did. I was like, we're not doing a half, right? And I wasn't sure if you caught it. Maybe I didn't even say it. I don't even know. But I thought it.
Yeah. Hi.
How difficult is the green nut choosing process?
I think it gets tougher once you find the most obvious ones. Because
Yeah.
then you're just like, is this green enough?
Yeah.
But you just kind of have to work your way down, like, you know.
He's got like 2 nuts left and he's good. He's golden.
It's very convenient. That's usually how many I have.
Testicles.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the obvious, sir. Cool.
105 grams.
Okay. Do we even attempt? We might. No, I think it's probably best to just scrap this and start over.
What do you mean?
Because I haven't, this recipe literally has not been written yet. It's not been done.
Okay.
So I had an instruction in my head that I had not gone and written out version 2 and rewrote the recipe yet.
Okay.
This is supposed to be a half a cup of that and then a half of,
Well, what is it?
yeah. Huh?
What is it? Ground almond flour?
Yeah, so it was a half a cup of pistachio and a half a cup of almond, not a full cup of almond, which is
That's
what
just
went in
this
here.
Stuff. Just scoop it out.
Yeah, but
You
it's
want to
on
try to
top.
scoop 60 grams out?
It's like on top of other ingredients.
This is the last thing we put in except for these
Why don't
two
we just
little
make
things.
a full batch? Why don't we just go full
Yeah, you're right.
full bore?
You're right.
I mean, do we want to make 1 almond and then 1 pistachio?
Oh, double it.
So we don't waste it.
Double it.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, no, I mean, I will literally be making 2 separate cookies because 1 will be pistachio and 1 will be almond.
Why not?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just so we don't waste it, you know?
Okay. I mean, I'm
We
fine
don't
with that.
waste by using
I'm fine
more
with that.
anyway, but-
It's just, and we're adding, that means we're doing another cookie.
Okay, wait. How much is this?
Yeah.
Money-wise.
Oh, no, don't worry about that.
How
Let's
much
just
is
make
it?
it. No,
How
I'm
much
not.
is it?
No, we're not
How
getting
much is
into
it
that.
money-wise? Time
No.
is money. How much is it?
No. We're
Tell
not,
me.
We're not getting into that.
How much is the money?
You think I know? I don't know.
What?
Yes.
$3.
Then fuck toss it. Throw it away.
It's not about that. It's about making cookies with your wife and quality time. And also
Exactly.
I'm here.
Exactly.
Rude.
Bonus content. Yeah, I'm basically this is bonus content. If
All right,
we do
double
that.
it.
You want to do that?
As long as you can fit another set
Okay.
of cookies.
Yeah, I mean we can. It's just up to you guys. Like, how long do you want to be?
Not forever.
Okay.
As long as you
Extra
want.
10 minutes? What is it?
Yeah, this is actually the easiest cookie out of all of them, so this wouldn't be too bad.
All right. Doubling.
All right,
everything
that's
but
more.
the almond.
That's more where I want this to be. Okay.
So I need to do another 220 of all-purpose.
No, we are not. No, they're 2 separate cookies. This is an almond cookie, and then you're going to do another batch that's going to be the pistachio.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Do
that's
not.
correct.
This is correct for an almond
It's
cookie.
correct for a different thing.
Oh.
Don't do
Incorrect
it.
for this thing.
Now, okay, so now my question is, if it's not going to be pistachio, what chopped nut do we want in these? Do we want pecans? Are we feeling like just using almonds? Like, what do you feel? What do you think?
Almonds.
You think almonds? Okay, there should be, you have almonds in there, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we've got all.
I'm like, don't do it. Oh, I'm seeing, you know what, we should let chat decide. I'm seeing a lot of pecans.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
We should let chat decide. Whoa, like let them. Yeah, we need like a poll, I guess. I'll just use an egg out of the fridge. I was gonna say I need another egg.
Almonds are flavorless, soft rocks. Yeah, God.
Okay, you want to do pecans? Okay. You're gonna need 105 grams of this, which is gonna be probably about 2/3 of a cup, but like I don't know. There, like in here looking for bowls. There you go.
How much today?
105 grams. Honestly, it's a mix-in, so really whatever you want, but yeah, that works. Perfect. Okay. We are at the point where I am happy to mix in the confectioner sugar, or icing sugar. Whoop. But a little at a time, because it's gonna like to puff up at your face. Okay, and then ooh, I'm out of spatulas.
We're doing some cookies. Pico.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll show you what this looks like. So this is not granulated sugar, so this is like super smooth. So this actually looks like frosting. So the last cookie that we used when we did the granulated sugar, it didn't really look like it was a frosting consistency until we added the egg in. These immediately are there. But we're still going to make sure that we're mixing it really well. I'm still going to do the same thing. And make sure like all of this sugar that got stuck to the top is getting brought back down into the bottom so that it incorporates correctly. Okay. Are those all of the dry ingredients already? Did you do it again?
I didn't do
Oh,
anything.
you didn't do them. Okay, I was gonna say, did you put all of
I
the?
did nothing except the nut.
Except the nut. Okay, cool. Why don't you want to do dry ingredients
For this.
now for this one in there?
Oh, so it's the same thing we did before, but
yeah, so
half
you're looking for
ground
60
almond.
grams of almond flour and 60 grams to the half, right? Oh, you did ask. That's why you said a half a cup. You're like, why does it say a half cup here? That's why.
Nice.
Look at that.
That is, I guess we'll start with the one that needs to be changed. That's the almond flour.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and at this point we're gonna add my egg in. I'm doing something that I don't like to do. Oh, and I didn't. Nope, we're not doing that.
Uh-oh.
I didn't break through the membrane.
60 grams of almond flour.
We had a safe situation. There was no egg in it, or eggshell in it, but we're still being safe.
220 all-purpose.
I'll leave this here for the next one. And it looks really sloppy before it fully incorporates. But it'll work. I need my spatula again. It's helpful when you're doing this. The egg is going to keep the butter and sugar that are stuck to the sides of the bowl. It's going to keep them from kind of getting pulled in. It takes like a really long time, and it kind of looks a little like cottage cheese. But if you go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl and just make sure that there's nothing on the sides of the bowl, it'll incorporate much faster. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
Half a teaspoon of salt that I keep putting right over here.
Use use a quarter teaspoon of salt
Quarter teaspoon.
because we have salted pistachios going in. So I just want to be cognizant of that.
Level.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, perfect.
So salt. No. AP flour, almond flour, baking powder, salt.
And the pistachio.
Pistachio what?
Pistachio, 60 grams. Did you do 120 or 60 grams?
60.
Okay, so then it's 60 grams of that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm making double sure. I went back in my memory. It's like, that's the first thing you did because you knew you were going to screw it up if you didn't do it first. Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm actually going to do, because we want this to be almond flavored, instead of a teaspoon, I think I'm going to do 1 1/4 teaspoons of the almond extract, and then it's a tablespoon of vanilla.
I need one of these.
We're going to add just a little bit more. So the reason, like, I have 1 teaspoon of it in this recipe. It's just like a nice emphasis to the pistachio that's already in it. But if you start to add too much, then you can't taste the pistachio. You're only tasting almond. But since we're doing almond, then I'm gonna give it a little bit of an almond oomph.
Yo, what up, Buzz? Can we trust? Babe, we cannot trust me. I have to be watched like a hawk when I'm the sous chef.
So we're gonna add 1 1/4 teaspoons, which is 6.25 milliliters, and then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon, which is 15 milliliters of vanilla.
Kari,
Yeah.
says Martian, you're so detailed and focused. It's so cool to see someone that's found their passion.
Aw, that was nice.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Martian. Why don't you say that to me?
It's a good smell.
That's a really good smell. Wow, that's like tasting it. It's like, this stream brought to you by Extracts.
Nielsen Massey.
Nielsen Massey.
Yeah.
What do you think it was gonna smell like?
Yeah, you're like,
No.
I'm smelling it. It's so strong.
I wanted that punch in my nose, like tasted on
Were
my
you
tongue.
that kid that like carried around and loved the like markers, that's the Scentsy markers?
Smells like Jesus.
Smells like Jesus eyes.
Jesus eyes. Damn you, dang cook. Lep sniffa. Oh yeah, that's right.
Wait, what?
You don't have better Twitch TV on your
Oh.
MacBook.
You're right, I don't.
This lep sniffa.
Okay, and this is the same thing. We did a ton of mixing.
The black one always
Now I'm
smells
just-
like
And now I'm just adding in the dry ingredients. And the second they're incorporated, I am done.
This is brim sniffing.
Dang!
Aw.
You would pass out now. You want me to cap these extracts?
Yeah, you can.
Releasing the flavor, right? That's
What happens?
Probably.
I mean, the
Just let flavor
alcohol,
out
the
too much
alcohol
and-
is,
evaporating
Yeah.
quickly.
We just scraping down the sides of the bowl here.
yep. So I've got a bunch of dry ingredients that fell to the bottom, and I
you
want to
want
make sure that they're
consistent
gonna.
incorporation.
And I would
Oh,
rather do this by
place-
hand than have it get overmixed.
No, you cannot place
so
orders for these. You literally have to get them for free.
Literally. But you have to go to Florida to get them.
You
yeah,
gotta come to Florida.
Ew,
That is
that
the
is
price.
that's a
steep
cost.
price.
That's a cost.
That is.
We typically at GCX, usually by the pool.
Okay, let's
Destin's cookie company is gone. I'm gonna check.
Okay.
Destin Legere from IGN.
Can we?
Yeah, they're very good.
Huh.
All right, I guess I'll chop these up real quick. It's gonna cover. I feel like I'm covering what I'm doing. I'm just gonna chop the nuts up with a knife.
PO box? No. I mean, we have one, but
Okay, please, careful.
it's not a knife.
Get out of the way.
This is a knife.
Is Mike still at the pool bar? He is. We were there. When were we there last? We were there recently, weren't we?
No, we were
We've
not.
been there since GCX. No? Yeah, I
Why?
think. Okay, gotta boot up the old memory banks. Hold on.
Very rough
I need-
job here.
I need a bigger cutting board than
board?
this one. Trying to fit the space.
Did we go there with family?
Not to the Rosen. We're losing. Man overboard.
Huh. No, can't remember. Uploading. Never happened.
This is rough. Also a rough chop.
Should have moved the camera, but you're almost done.
You can if you want. I still
Not
have.
a, why not a food
I still have some
processor
ones
in
I
this
haven't got to.
case?
It would be faster. I just was attempting to not use more
Dishes
appliances.
that I have to clean because she loves me so much.
Yeah.
Or her mom, because her mom's been doing dishes the last couple of days because I've been doing literally nothing but
GCX
streaming.
stuff.
Working.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing great.
Should have done a little bit less at a time.
I wonder if Mike can make frozen margs. They had frozen margs at the pool bar, right?
You know, I
frozen-
don't know. They
Yeah,
have
frozen marg.
they have like frozen. I don't know if they had a frozen marg, but I know they had like a hurricane kind of a thing, or like a. I don't know if they had a pina colada. It was like something that was like a couple of different things, or like some like orange passion fruit, something that was like a
Wait,
frozen.
have you ever made a frozen anything?
Yeah,
In your life.
yeah.
So how would
All the ice cream that I literally. There's literally
you
an ice
whip
cream
up
recipe.
A frozen marg if we like crushed ice. or something? How do you make it
As someone who has experimented many
At
times
home.
Yeah,
with
frozen
frozen
it
marg?
needs
Yeah.
to be.
blending ice
Yeah.
the way they can do it at a restaurant,
Melt.
Yeah.
it's like it's so hard.
Yeah, can't. How would you do it?
The consistency is like never gonna be as
No.
good.
Yeah.
as you can get
How
at
do
a
they do it?
restaurant.
What machine do they have?
I
They
don't
have
know.
the machines that are constantly sending it around in a
They do have
churn.
that,
I
yeah.
don't understand. Is it just
The crystal structure is smaller than if you let something fully crystallize and freeze and then broke it down, it's gonna have a
Yeah.
much more jagged crystalline
Yeah,
structure
no.
than
So
something
what are
that
you
is
doing? They're
creating
keeping
small.
They're keeping the water moving, never letting it fully form.
Yeah.
Versus like taking ice and then
Yeah, crush it.
Because basically
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
get are tiny pieces of ice, and it tastes like ice with just
Yeah.
you know,
That ain't
stuff.
happening.
Now you can do okay.
The ice equivalent of cement mixers.
Yeah. Like, you can
Whoa,
do
wrong
okay,
ingredient.
but making them at home, like
You
it's so
need
hard to get them
to
as
buy
smooth.
a proper machine.
Yeah, you need a whole
Icy
a whole
slushy
thing.
machine, yeah.
And that's
Oh, we
is
need to
an
update the
irresponsible
menu.
purchase.
Update the menu command because Datto messed up the dry ingredients.
No,
We have-
I messed that up. That was a
I'm
me
taking all of it.
problem.
Your head. Oh, you might go out. Decent form. Thank you. Perfect. We're also doing what? Just pecan cookie.
No, it's just like a snowball, like a pecan sandy kind of a thing.
Well, we have the melamacrona.
Yeah.
The marshmallows.
That's snowball with pistachio. This is snowball.
No, that is a Greek honey soaked cookie.
Exclamation point menu.
like a baklava cookie almost.
Baklava.
No. Is that what that is?
Baklava.
Baklava? No.
Baklava is like the
That's the
hood.
It's like
Yeah.
honey,
Baklava,
walnut,
baklava, yeah.
pistachio,
Mix up.
phyllo,
We have a
like
very okay. You wouldn't think about this in Tallahassee. An above average Greek food festival.
Yeah.
every year.
We have a Greek Orthodox
Why would I
church in
not
here
think
that
that
does.
for
Because
Florida?
look where you are. You got 4-wheelers and shotguns and a great Greek food festival once a year in the fall.
And the Jewish Food Fest is
Oh, the
fantastic
Jewish-
as well. Yeah, there's a temple that does it every March.
Chocolate chip cookies, pistachio snowball cookies,
Pecan snowball cookies.
Okay, so what is the mellow macaroni? Is that we're not making that?
That's the honey cookie. Yeah, we're
Is it
making that
3?
too.
4 cookies now.
Now we're doing 4 because we're not.
So this
wasting
is
the
wrong.
ingredients.
Mellow macaroni
Yeah.
is a separate thing, not
Yeah.
pistachio snowball cookies.
Yeah.
Okay. Mods!
This would have been so much faster if I'd used the food processor.
Babe,
Yeah.
make the dish.
I know.
I'll clean the dish.
Dish delish.
I was trying not to use it.
Well, now you see her advanced cooking or cutting technique.
No, yeah, it's so advanced, chopping nuts that go everywhere.
Like,
Yeah.
if we were filming this for YouTube, we get some B-roll of you at this point right here, a few
Better.
seconds, and
Yeah.
then we cut.
That's
Yeah.
why non-live content is the best.
I think you would do well with a Claire Saffitz type model.
I love her.
I think you do really well into that style. Because you both kind of have the same, not cadence, but you
What
have
a
like
compliment.
the same interest of like how you do those things. And,
Yeah.
Like, you want to have those little extra explanations, and she has those kind of extra explanations
Yeah.
too.
Oh my God. I was compared to Claire Saffitz in the same sentence. What is life?
I don't know who that is.
I know,
just think
I know
that
you
her
don't.
Content, like you modeling your content after hers would be
Yeah.
a good
Oh,
start.
good, yeah.
Would be a good start. You know,
Yep.
to get into video world.
Video world.
It's you emulate and then you put your own spin on it.
Yeah. That would be great. Okay.
You know what I would do? If I made more money, I would hire an editor for her stuff, not even for my stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know she
100%.
doesn't really care to do the video. Like her passion is this.
Mhm.
She's pretty into food photography.
I would do it if I could
She would
had
do
the
it
time to
if she had the
figure it
time.
out. I like have
I
to
would rather pay an
learn.
editor for her than me.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Me, I'll just stay up till 2 a.m. and get it done. And like
I don't know how to do it. Like I would have to
Exactly.
learn how to do it.
Hey, editing
Hey,
is
let
3 buttons.
Datto sit next
Yeah.
to you. Cut.
I've edited videos
Place.
before, but at a very, very basic
Wait,
level.
yeah. button.
I mean, you don't. A lot of videos on YouTube are pretty basic.
Yeah.
And especially for something like this, it's
Audio?
making sure the bigger problem
Keyframe?
Uh-huh.
is just making sure you have all the footage you need.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like putting it in order. That's
Yeah.
the easy part.
Yeah.
Making sure you have everything. That's the hard part.
Yeah. Okay. Nuts are going in.
I put the nuts in a Ziploc bag and use a rolling pin. She's done that
Ooh, that would have been an even better idea.
too. Wow.
That I
Wall
did
Street.
not. I did not
Wall
think
Street
about
out here
that.
trying to be the star of the show.
That was a good suggestion.
We need to hire someone to make Lep sleep more than 2 hours a night.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I am not. I'm sleeping. Tonight is
We're passing out tonight.
well. I'm probably not gonna go to bed early because I got a bunch of stuff to do. But I will not wake up until it is time to wake up. Like late. What time are we leaving tomorrow?
I don't know. We've never discussed it. All
After I wake up.
right. More cookies to scoop. Have fun.
All right. So same size.
Yeah.
Cool. These are going into the fridge to.
They're going to go in the fridge for 30 minutes and then we're going to bake them.
Now, spacing does not matter.
No,
Oh,
no,
I'm
you can do the same thing. We're
Okay.
just chilling them and then we can move them to a pan when we go to bake them. If you want,
No stream tomorrow.
no stream tomorrow or Friday. If you want,
Doctor would know.
why don't you, can you grab that pan that doesn't have anything on it?
No stream Saturday and Sunday.
Por favor.
You gotta let them know.
No stream after I die.
That's a little much.
No stream.
Sorry, guys.
September 1st when the new raid comes out. The old raid. When Proto comes back.
Whee. Oh, I'm so left-handed.
I'm so left-handed. No pizza Friday.
Yeah, BYOP.
cookies on Friday at GCX, Rose and Shingle Creek.
All right, you can scoop onto this. That way I can use more Silpats, because if we have cookies on those, then I can't. Like, I prefer to bake on those than on the parchment paper.
True.
So, why no Silpat? Why no Silpat for this?
Because you want to use them.
I want to use the ones with the Silpat to
to
bake,
bake, not to
so we can just
yeah.
stick it on the parchment.
Scooper. I don't
It's probably unwashed in the, yeah. And I'm going to need more, like, bowls and stuff. I guess if, Datto, would you like to scoop so that Lep can clean the dishes and prep them for me?
This is what I was asking. I should just be cleaning it. You're like, no, I'm throwing it in the dishwasher. It's fine. My name's Leopard.
I forgot she was making 9,000 cookies. Joke? Yeah, I saw the look on her face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm going to ignore that comment.
Wait, am I cleaning everything?
I just need a bowl and the paddle for both cookies, because we're going to do a bowl and a paddle for the pistachio and then a bowl and a paddle for the mellow macarona. It's a paddle. That's what it's called. This guy.
Oh. Mixer.
This is a mixer.
I know.
That's an attachment, a paddle attachment.
One word for everything.
You have a whisk, a paddle, and a dough hook.
You have a mixer, and a mixer that attaches to the mixer.
What do you call this?
Whisk.
Okay, so if you call this a whisk, why do you call this a mixer?
Because it attaches to the mixer.
Okay.
I might have to give partial credit to Leopard.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
You may be busted on that one.
Are you gonna be?
That's funny. Okay. We still have not
I'll
put
just keep-
pistachio in this.
I will just keep the camera on the mixer face.
And it should be nice. Exactly 60 grams. Look at me go.
Ding.
Exactly 60 grams. Okay.
Well, I thought I measured that already. Hey, I
This?
did that. Yeah.
You measured this out?
Yeah, because I dumped the rest out.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, maybe you did it. You did it.
I didn't.
You're the best.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good.
Okay. Oh, my butter. Oh yeah, that's good now. All right. We were at a good temperature. So we're gonna make the second batch of cookies, of the snowball cookies, but these are a pistachio version. And you guys get to see some really cool stuff in a second. So I'm excited.
Ooh.
Let me know how many cookie scoops you get out of that thing when you're done. When you're done with the paddle and the mixing bowl, you can just send them right over to me.
Hi. Yes, chef.
Thank you. Do I get to call you guys chef too? Everybody's a chef, right? You're sous chefs.
Yeah, but
Thank
Okay,
you,
well,
chef.
what would Bobby
Yes,
say
chef.
or-
Thank you, chef. No, I mean, they just call them chefs. I kind of feel like it's a little impersonal to just be like, everyone is chef. Like, nobody has a name. It's like giving people a number.
Not precise.
Have we watched The Bear? I've watched The Bear. I loved it. Every second of it.
I've not gotten to watch it.
I will say there's an episode in season 2 that gave me so much anxiety. I wanted to like get sick, which was probably the purpose of that episode. But it's
Season
still
2
really
already? I
good.
think I just started hearing about it.
Oh yeah,
recently.
season
It's already
2.
in season 2.
Yeah, The Bear is so good. Everyone gets to pick their nickname as long as that nickname is chef. 60 grams is a felony weight. That's intent to sell right there.
50 grams of what?
Oh, what's this? The Christmas dinner episode, yeah, that was really hard to watch. That did give me like full on trauma flashbacks.
Is it a sad show? Or
No.
is it just like anxiety?
It's not. It's just it's intense. It's an intense show. Do you know what do you actually know about it?
It's about a guy
chef
who's a chef, and it's good as hell.
Okay. Yeah. It is drama. Like there's a lot of like family drama in it. So like be prepared for that. But it's not like unbearably sad or like on purpose. You know, like there are shows where like the scripts are written. Where scripts are written specifically to like make you cry or to attempt to like get you in the feels. And this one doesn't do that. I didn't see the end of Barbie. I didn't see Barbie yet. Oh, okay.
If you want a show that'll make you cry, apparently Danielle recommends Fleabag.
Oh, I loved that show, but they canceled it after 2 seasons. The first season was okay. The second season is gold. It's so good.
Oh, should I just keep watching? I'll just keep watching.
I was gonna say, if you want, you can do the dry ingredients for this guy, unless you feel like that needs to be a team effort.
I'll just keep watching.
Okay. If you worked front of house for years, will it be intense? I mean, yeah, you'll probably have some like, oh my God, I'm feeling this. Like I fully understand this, but like, yeah. The Bear is very real. More people should watch it because 90% of people have no idea what people do in that industry. That's absolutely true. Yeah, it does focus more on back of the house just because like it's like chefs and stuff like that. But there's some of it. There's some front of the house. But I'm sure like as front of the house, it's like you get to hear about all the drama and like be in and out of that kind of a thing. So even if you're not actually back working, like you're still kind of involved in that.
Thanks for 27.
Sorry.
Firm.
I'll give you. It's a little loud over by me.
Mistakes.
Oh, man. Grandma Slayer.
Hey, welcome.
22 months, slaying those grandmas.
Slaying those grandmas.
Watch out, Grandma.
Okay, I'm gonna toss this. Can you toss this into? Oh wait, not this. Where's the other pistachio? This. No, we're gonna blend these up a little bit too.
Oh, it's more
gentle, like you can just. I'm just chopping that in the blender.
Low.
You need a lid. Love's about to use the blender without a lid.
No.
Calling you
No,
out.
I wasn't. I was looking for it.
So you're gonna want to zoom it up, but literally like 10 seconds, and then you're done.
Slow, then fast, 10 seconds.
On, all the way up to 10. Done. You're done. That's it. I need that now.
2 seconds.
Okay, yeah. You're done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was instant.
Yep.
Why was it not instant before?
What do you mean?
Before,
I think you were maybe not trying to get it as fine.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah,
mean,
this has some
fun.
fun.
It's
It's
pretty
like
fine,
yeah,
but it's not as fine.
yeah.
Cookies.
Cool. How many are there by just chance?
So many. 21 and a half.
Okay. Cool. Okay, that can get put again if there's any room in the back. There's not at all. Okay.
What about in between 17 and 18? Next to the Range Rover.
Next to the Range Rover. Yeah.
What do we want to do?
I'll make a room.
You can stick it in the deep freezer, and we'll just chill it for less time. How's that work? Yeah. I want to know what happened to the blue. Okay, we're scraping the sides down just a little bit. Okay. In the deep freezer or in the fridge? Okay. Okay, I need 1 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar again. But I'm losing bowls. This can get poured back in here.
Okay.
I need that bowl so quick. Good. Thank you.
I'm gonna drop 1 stash. Are we done with the pistachios for the day?
Yes. $135 grams. How do I-
Consider for your sink is
What?
sensor automated faucet. So like we have a thing where there's a sensor right here, you just go and it turns on, turns off. You know, like grab the hand.
I end up just leaving it on for way.
That's what I did with the soap dispensers, the hand soap.
These are wireless or hand-free.
Like they know about it. I literally just instinctively, like when I'm done with it, I just go.
That's funny. Okay.
No touchy.
This can go sit like at the end somewhere over there. Yeah.
I literally just did it again. I just went.
I love moving cup, man. Should we like using this trash can for like prepping or rinsing over there? Yeah. Take it out of here. Now we'll legit like. Oh, trash can's not there. Okay. Throw it away. Millisecond later, I'm like, throw it away. It hits the floor. I'm like, when did that happen?
Yeah, Cutco knives.
Yeah.
They know, like super. When we first got our like, new knives or whatever, so like we gotta do Cutco knives.
I actually no, I don't. Do you?
Japanese steel.
Did you?
Okay.
It's not. It's Damascus steel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the style of how they
Fold and cut. Yeah.
Sure.
they like fold the metal on top of itself.
Yeah.
Play a little CS, okay?
Oh, is that the type of? Is that like an expensive knife in Counter Strike?
It's like a finish.
Oh my god!
It's one of the various finishes.
That's pretty funny.
I was like, oh, what? Dad knows so much about knives and cooking is from Counter Strike.
Well, the Cutco I know from Danielle,
Yeah.
and then the Damascus I know. Well, Damascus I've just seen like so many videos. Like, what is it, Insider or something, where they have like still standing and like so expensive. You know, all those kinds of videos where they'll go and like, here's how this company's still around, or like, why is this stuff so expensive? Spoilers, the reason why stuff is so expensive is number one, climate change. Number two, there's only 4 people in the world who know how to do it. That's 90% of so expensive.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Every industry is projected to be 100% growth in the next 5 years, but there's only 4 people that know how to do this one thing. They're all 90 years old, and no one wants to take over. So expensive.
There's like only a like same thing, like 4 people in the world or like whatever, but like there's one specific person that makes soy sauce in the traditional way.
Yeah.
And yeah. So like it's just like manufactured, but there's somebody who's out there like legitimately making like soy sauce in the traditional like old world, like whatever, and it's supposed to be really good, but it's very expensive.
You can't find it.
Yeah,
Supply.
and it's like one of those things where like he's the only one that does it anymore, and so when he's gone, because he's an older man. When he's gone, if he hasn't taught it to anybody, it's like the tradition is just gone forever, which is kind of crazy that in a world where you can just like video something and like do like it's like there's so much information about everything on the internet, but like traditions can still die.
It takes forever
like
to train and Jeremy has been here for 8 years, but he still only does the first step in this one thing,
Yeah.
which is like rolling out rugs on the floor. It's
Yeah.
like, it can't take that long.
Yeah.
Oh, and also if they mess up even the slightest thing in any step of the entire process, $30,000 of materials completely wasted, unsalvageable. Every time.
Yeah.
But these aren't commodities. I mean, these are like top-end item,
Yeah.
whatever, specialty deal.
Yeah, they're special items. Or very unique
Well, something that
items.
didn't used to be, but now is because of the modern industrialization.
Oh, fair, yeah. Hand-knitted shirts.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the, what are we doing?
Back to the show. All right, let me scrape down the sides of this bowl one more time. Pardon moi. Okay. So these are going to be like a much more difficult cookie to make, or like intensive cookie to make, because I don't know, because I am me, and because I don't have a small cookie scoop. That's honestly why. So it's one tablespoon and or 1.5 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon, 1/2 tablespoon. Did I write down what the gram was for that? I thought I weighed them. 25-gram cookies. I must have written it down. Maybe I'll scoop one out just to be sure. So these are getting stuffed, and I messed around with the ratio of how much cookie to pistachio paste filling I wanted. Like, did I want like a little, just like a little bit? Did I want it to be like mostly pistachio paste and like a little cookie? Like, where's that like middle of the road line there? Like, what's the best version of that? And so it's essentially, I thought I had weighed out, and I'll have to do that so that you guys are gonna have to weigh the cookies for this one, because we're gonna weigh them, chill them, put the pistachio paste in the center, and like re-roll them up, and then chill them for just a little bit longer, and then we'll bake it. What's the matter?
Move your mic.
Am I hitting it? I thought so. Where are the nuts from the blender? Ah! There we go.
When are we doing Lebanon cookies?
Levain cookies?
Lebanon, that's what I said.
No, we made 21.
Those are great cookies. I don't know.
These dudes are ready for a nap. Karen's been working them.
I might just this. Oh no. Yes.
I rinsed the bowl. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
no, I was turning those off.
Thank you. I'm just gonna mix in the last bit of pistachios in, so that it's not super
Are we
super
putting all these
mixed into
cookies
the
in
dough.
the long plastic bin?
Yes.
They'll all fit?
Yes.
One bin or two?
2.
We own 2 plastic bins. You pour this out already?
No.
Partially.
Yeah.
Any cookies in the oven yet? Let's go to the oven.
No, but
again.
they're about to go in. They're about to go in.
No.
Actually, how long have the other ones been in? Like 15 minutes?
The first set?
Did you know the ones that were just scooped?
Just put
It's
in
been like 10
10
minutes. Did you
in
put
the
them in the
freezer.
deep freezer though, or did you put them into the
Fridge.
fridge? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, that's fine. We can start on the mellow macarona cookies if you want.
Chocolate chip cookies were an accident. The baker wanted chocolate cookies, forgot, added the chips after, hoping it would mix in. Sounds like
Oh wow.
myth, but I'll go with it.
I've never heard that story before.
Dry ingredients for what? Mellow macaroni?
Yeah.
You want me to wash this? Rinse this out?
That I am completely done with. So
says.
if you want to clean that, you can. You can rinse it and set it aside. You can just leave it aside, whatever you want to do.
Cake flour time. No AP in this one? Oh, AP.
There is, yeah.
Oh, these are big.
Yeah. There's
15, a kilogram and a half?
That's 155 grams.
I can't do numbers right now. Cool. Glad I did not put 1,555.
Yeah.
Three types of flour. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, okay. So the reason I have 3 types of flour.
For the mellow macaroni.
Yes. Most recipes that you'll find are either going to just be completely all-purpose flour, or you may have a mixture of all-purpose and semolina flour. The semolina is going to give it the traditional texture of these cookies. And then I mixed up cake flour and all-purpose flour because I wanted them to melt more. I was finding with the semolina and all-purpose that they were like a good cookie, but they were like a more crisp cookie than a just like kind of melt away situation. And I needed it to just be a softer texture. So I kind of took out some of the all-purpose flour and went in with the cake flour. The softer texture comes from the fact that cake flour has a much lower protein percentage than the all-purpose flour does. What do you need? What are you looking for? 1 cup? You looking for 1 cup? Okay. All right, these are done. You can see, you can literally tick them off if you want as you go, if that's helpful to you. Mm-hmm. You're gonna need a bigger bowl than this though. This is the correct amount, or do you need to do something else with this?
Semolina.
You just need to add the semolina next?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can do this? Okay. I don't wanna mess up where you are in the process. Can I zero it out?
Yeah.
Semolina should already be here, honey.
I was testing you and you passed the test.
Nice,
job.
pass the test. Okay, let's see. Okay. Orange zest, one with oils. 1/4 cup of.
I'm performing no-nos.
What is no-nos?
Grabbing and putting it back in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not the best.
Yo, what up, nerd?
Can he hear you?
When will the time come when Leopard gets a second mic?
Secure the bag.
I don't know. I've been asking him to get.
No, she's the star of the show. You can barely hear me in the background because whatever I'm saying doesn't matter.
There's I think it's a DJI mic, which is kind of interesting because I thought all they did was do drones. But there's a DJI mic that is a dual lavalier that is wireless, and it's not expensive.
Dual lavalier,
Meaning it's got 2 that clip on, and they're both wireless, and you just have you have like one transmitter, and then
okay.
with one transmitter, 2 mics. You put them on, they're wireless. It's
Danielle got
far
something
easier.
Pretty cool too. She has like lav mics that are just like an all-in-one. Like the pack and the mic are just the same. So you have a big lav mic, but there's no like
none of this crazy. Yeah.
or anything
I mean,
like
that sounds great.
connects to like a 360 cam that she has.
Clap test.
Oh, why? Is
Is
it?
it synced up? I don't know. Because I don't normally plug my mics up or plug stuff up this way, so I don't know if it's like.
Are we?
If we do acoustics in the kitchen, there's no echo. No, it's just a mic right next to her face, so it's not very sensitive.
Yeah.
You won't hear the reverb like from a shotgun mic. Datto does dishes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
What is next?
We're appreciative, though. All right.
Whatever
Baking soda,
Here I
baking
don't
powder,
mind it.
salt,
Baking
and then all of these spices
powder.
as well. Okay. So you're going
Okay.
all the
Teamwork
way
time.
down to the nutmeg.
Teamwork time.
Okay.
Baking powder.
Yeah, this came from the milk powder, wherever that jar is here.
In all kinds of jars.
There you go. You're gonna need, let's see. Let me get you ground cloves. Cloves,
Half teaspoon.
nutmeg,
Baking soda.
and then
Where the soda?
cinnamon.
This is soda. Tequila's soda, right?
Yes. Can you do me a favor and just, oh, there was a butter knife up here that I have misplaced. You could, yeah. Up a little higher. Get out of here. Get out of here. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so you got honey. The orange is over there, and then I need. We're just prepping. So he's putting so that you know we've got some brown butter here that was put into the refrigerator so that it would harden up. We have a cake flour, all-purpose flour, semolina flour. There's baking soda, baking powder, and then salt and a bunch of spices. We've got cloves, we have cinnamon, and we have nutmegs. They're like warming spices that are gonna go into this. We're also gonna have a 1/4 cup of honey. We're gonna have orange zest, sorry. We're gonna have some orange zest. There will be, let's see, olive oil. So we'll have, why did I write 4 tablespoons and not a 1/4 cup? Okay, a 1/4 cup or 60 ml of extra virgin olive oil. If you can get it, first cold press, it's just nicer. Really, that's more for like heating purposes than anything else. But it's the nicer stuff if you find it. Look for that on the label if you're looking for the good stuff. And then we actually put in also orange juice and brandy or cognac. Because
All this will be on the website.
yeah, it's all on the website.
AlittleSpoon.com. I'm legit reading things 4 times in a row because my brain's like, turn off, turn on. What do you mean?
I'm putting it right on top of the recipe. Right in the middle.
Yeah, because
Looks
yeah.
cool.
No,
Okay.
like all of this stuff is going.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like we're just being messy.
Are we even using this one right now? No, we're not.
Okay,
What
so
do I have?
how am I
I'm
grading?
confusing myself here.
what are we grading with?
Hold on 1 second. Huh?
Pose wants Datto to check his butt phone.
What?
We are cooking 4 different cookies.
Yeah, we're making 4 different.
Excellent
We're
menu.
making 4 different cookies.
Uh-oh.
Alarm go. I didn't turn it on.
Uh-oh. Datto set off the alarm on Toes as a joke.
Turn it on. Hello.
All right, I'm searching for something. I'm seeing a discrepancy in the instructions versus the recipe, and I don't like that. Especially since this is already on a website. So I am going to do a quick check. think it's in here. All of these handwritten recipes. I believe it's in here. This was the first version. This is the fourth version.
How am I grading the nut? Meg.
The microplane, wherever that went. Okay, this is version 4. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I knew it seemed weird. Huh?
0.3 grams.
Yeah.
So, any technique?
It might not show up.
0.3 shows up.
Does it? I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of them will only start at a half a gram.
You want some left fingertip cookies?
No, that's gross. Don't do that. We don't want that. I have 90 mils of OJ here. And it's not in that,
What?
the recipe. I'm gonna go online and fix that. That's why I was like, this doesn't seem right. I hope no one on the internet tried to make this. And I don't have, I wonder. Dang. That's super unfortunate. I'm really glad that we're doing this recipe though. Can you imagine how long I would have never known? I would have never known. Crazy. This is why you don't get rid of the originals of your work. Go back and look at what I did. Almost there. What are we saying? How do you know you can? Oh, that's a joke. Is that a joke? I can't read from here.
It's a joke.
Is it a pun?
Did you know you can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish unless, of course, you play bass?
Nice.
Bass.
Yeah. Okay. OJ. Oils. Well, actually, I already put them out, didn't I? Yeah. Pardon moi. Ooh. And it says I need a 1/4 cup of EVOO and 3 of a neutral oil. Okay. Mise en place.
What's that?
Everything in its place. It's basically just getting all of the ingredients together, measured out,
That
and
sounds
ready
like-
to go before you do a recipe so that you don't
sounds
have
like-
to do stuff
Right
in the
hard.
middle.
Am I done? Nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, salt, baking soda, baking powder, flour. Done. Dry ingredients done.
Okay. And wet ingredients are also done. Except for the sugar. Those are the only things I haven't done yet. Okay. Got butter. Uh-oh. I'm too short. That's a lep job. This is the liquor cabinet that you can barely see into. I'm so sorry. I wish you could see more of it. The cognac up at the top, in between the elderflower liqueur and the Cointreau. Yeah.
I know what the cognac looks like.
Okay, well. It's Kirkland brand. Actually, it's actually really nice. I actually really like it.
I have to keep it out of your reach. You can't get her out of this stuff, man.
That's not correct. Okay. I'm just trying, this is like getting me a little anxious. Can we
Clean up. What do you need? What do you not need
put
anymore?
things away? I mean, if everything is measured out, then we are good to go.
G to G.
Yeah.
Into the dishwasher. To save time so I can focus on other stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did it go to 0.3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you put salt in?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right, though. It is finicky.
Everything is in there.
Everything. You always left on your man. Got a bottle of cognac. Grandma Slayer, thanks for gifting one to Princess Aqua. Congratulations. You're the brand new Cub Club owner. Membership owner.
Okay. I'm going to also preheat the bottom oven. We're going to do 350. Get that going. Okay. Here we go. Actually, I know you want to do that, but can you scoop out these cookies and get them in the refrigerator with that scoop? These guys that are just sitting here. Because they need to get chilling. Okay, we are momentarily going to start putting cookies in the oven, and it's going to get a little hectic. Yeah. What do you need?
Situation.
You can put it on that. That's okay. I just want to have like at least two trays. And then like once we start baking, we can move stuff kind of like over and it'll be fine. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody's good? Okay.
What happened?
So I think Danielle just turned on the alarm because I can tell like it gives me a log of like who turned on the alarm, who turned off the alarm.
She turned it on. What code is there?
She turned it on. I guess like with her, like she has like a separate key fob that has like off, on, home, away, like,
right.
whatever the settings are. And it said that she turned it on this morning, but like I don't know why. I don't know. I guess maybe she forgot. I'm not sure.
Accident. Forgot.
Yeah, I just didn't know when those was coming over.
Those breaks into the house. Alarm's going off.
Yeah. So I had to call the company to be like, hey, please, nothing's wrong. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, tell me all your information. I was like, this. Oh, okay. Well, we already sent the cops out there because.
Ooh.
They
Okay.
call within 2 minutes of the alarm going off.
Right.
Be
Right.
Like, hey, is this real? But like, I had my phone's on silent.
Oh no.
So, but they just end up calling the cops anyway while
Okay.
we're heading over. It's like, hey, it's all good. False alarm. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But I told those that if the cops do show up, they need to talk to me.
Okay.
They gotta talk to me. They gotta talk to me. So I will find out what went wrong.
Momentarily. Okay. All right, we are gonna start whipping up our butter situation here. Just get that going. We're basically going to whip this the same way that we're whipping like our softened butter. So it's going in, I'm going to whip it, it's going to lighten, get a little bit fluffier, and then at that point, we're going to go ahead and start adding stuff in. Whip it good. There's like, there is a pack, like a 3-pack of tea towels or kitchen towels. And it's like, whip it good, beat it, and yeah, and there, what was the other one? I can't remember, but I saw them one day and I was like, oh man, I like the puns, the kitchen puns for that. I'm sure somebody else knows about it. Has anybody else seen those? Okay. I'm going to show you guys the difference here from the sides. I'm going to scrape down, but like this is where we started. You can see that. Okay. And then this is what it is actually whipped up to. So that you can see the difference in what we're looking for.
Texture.
Yeah. So everything, you want everything to look honestly like buttercream frosting. It's like, I keep saying the word frosting, but that's honestly like where we're headed or what we're trying to accomplish.
On the deep freezer. Deep freezer?
Yeah, you can put them in the deep freezer. Okay. Now we're gonna add in some orange zest. Maybe.
I like how the first thing you had me do was get the orange zest, and it's like the last thing that's going into the last batch of cookies.
Yep. And then we're gonna do the honey. Now, this recipe, until you really mix in the dry ingredients, it is like wet. Like it is wet. We literally are we've got butter and honey. So it's like not granulated sugar. And then we're putting in like almost a cup of oil and mixing. And then you start adding in orange juice and your dry ingredients. So yeah. So like it is a very, very like liquid start, but it comes together very, very quickly. And in this, just like all of our other cookies, right? It's super important to not overmix this once the dry ingredients go in. It happens like very, very fast, which is why for this one in particular, I was like, I want to get everything measured out and like not have like any of this be an issue later. Actually, I did need the tablespoon. That is the only thing I actually need. There should be measuring spoons somewhere. Did you already put them away, honey? He did. I got it. I needed the tablespoon for the cognac. Okay, let's get going. Here we go. Oil's going in. We are liquid.
Ghost pepper cheese.
Did you eat one?
The whole bag.
We have some left?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we finished all those.
We finished the non-super hot one.
I didn't know that.
Chug.
That's a no for me, dog. Thanks, though. Okay, we're adding in a tablespoon of brandy. This is optional. If you really don't want it, you don't have to have it. It's just added depth of flavor. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's just added depth of flavor. Okay, and now we're gonna start doing our flour and our OJ.
What up, Brad? Halo. Not this Saturday. Next Saturday, I pinky promise you. I got no GCX. I'm itching to get back on the sticks. Join the Saturday losing team on the Halo comp, yeah.
You're sure you had enough flour in here, honey? This is not what this is supposed to look like.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, no, we're good. It thickened.
I added so much flour.
Okay.
I put...
Yeah, it's a lot of flour. That's why I was like,
way more than you're supposed to.
honey.
There's flour in this?
Honey.
What's wrong?
No, it's okay. I think it's okay.
I promise you, there are 3 types of flour. 125, 155, 130. They're all
No,
there.
that's okay. We're good. Okay. It looked very, very liquid, and I was nervous that I wasn't going to be able to handle it without it, like, sticking to my fingers, but it actually...
I'm on a roller coaster
it thickened
of
up
emotions
okay.
right now.
It thickened up okay. You scared me a little bit.
baby.
I'm going to be honest. That scared me just a tad. Okay, this is done. Okay. Woof!
Good job, Hood.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Ghost pepper cheeses. How are you on spice? Not like crazy spice.
Not a big spice guy. I don't
Like
handle it that well.
Spicy ramen. A little bit, rather less.
Maybe if it can be unspiced, I prefer that.
Salsa.
I can deal.
Mild.
Yeah.
But that heat doesn't give you more pleasure in your food.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
I used to be that way. Now I'm dead inside, so
Okay.
anything I feel is good.
Yeah, no, not about it. I've tried many a thing.
Fair.
You know, some things. I think I just haven't tried enough like good spicy stuff.
I literally don't have a little cookie scoop.
But yeah, no, it gives no pleasure at all.
It's interesting that like spice. You want very little or
Oh,
none?
man. Okay.
Is it too wet?
No, I just need these to be 25 grams, and I don't have the cookie scoop for it anymore. I mean, we can try to use it, but I don't think it's going to work.
I want very little sugar.
Oh, F me up.
F you up with sugar.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right size, but it won't come out. Oh, it does come out.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I mean, but
It
it's
breaks.
gonna
It
gonna
breaks.
start. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just.
We-
but this
we
is
can
soft
deal.
enough that it might be okay. Can you?
We can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, you can do
You
this.
something else?
I'm
You
gonna
want
go
it?
get the cookies.
I'll go get it. You have bad knee.
Okay, then I'll do this.
Okay, Dad, you do this. I'm gonna go get the thing.
I don't know what to do.
She stands there and does something.
If you scoop, I can shape. How's that?
Deal. Give me the. I need to
Here's
scale
the
too, right?
scoop. No, you just need the scoop. It's the size of the scoop will give you what you need every time. Like, can they see us? I'm gonna go. I guess on this
I mean, you
side.
just turn the camera.
Honestly, let's.
Hey, you know what, Kari? I'm glad you're being honest.
Because he's got the camera here, so they have an overhead. Huh?
Which cookie?
The pecan ones, the ones that went in first.
The ones that went in first.
Come on, not pecans.
the pecans, not the pecans. Okay. Let me. You don't have to weigh it. If you have the scoop, if the scoop is working, you don't have to weigh it.
Okay.
You'll be good. Okay.
I'm gonna use this as a device to give them to you.
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah. Yes, not those. I want those to go as long as possible. Pecans.
Okay.
Yes.
You said 2 different things.
What did I say? Did I
You
say?
did say pecans as you were entering the garage. I didn't hear the first thing. All I heard was pecans.
Oh, because I said the ones that went in first between the two of the whatever. Sorry, that was not clear on that. That was a good.
Hey, sometimes we post cringe on the timeline. Sometimes
Sorry,
the
chef.
timeline posts cringe on you.
Sorry, chef.
happens.
Yep. All right, I get what he means. Okay. So I'm totally in the way.
That's only 19. That wasn't enough.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need a good scoop. Okay, so what you're gonna do
Second.
is you're gonna kind of make them like an egg shape.
I'm doing this or left
No,
side?
I'm doing this.
Okay.
It's gonna go down like this, and then
went
you're gonna
last?
take the back of the tines, huh?
What went in last?
The pistachio ones went into the deep freezer.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're gonna take the tines of a fork, and you're just gonna do that little number.
That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
3, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
Just pushing it.
And you're just gently. It's kind of just. It's the consistency of like think Play-Doh, I guess, but it's even soft. Like it's a little softer than that. It's like fresh Play-Doh right out the.
Gate.
Yeah.
Jar.
And these will not spread. Like they are exactly the size that they are going to be when they go into the oven. Oh God, you don't, it's not that deep.
Hey, that's what you tell me all the time.
That's true. All right. Deal.
Are these going in the oven?
25.5.
No, they will bake into each other. These,
Yeah, no, those need a lot more space.
That's what I thought.
okay, let's do,
You want me to try to take over form?
sure.
There's that patented belief.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm covering the camera with my back. I'm sorry, guys.
A little more
I guess
pressure.
you do have the
Roll it
camera
back.
over that,
There
so
you
you
go.
can you're in front of the camera. Way to do that. You always yell at me
Well, I'm
because I'm. What does left-handed have to do with
Because I feel
anything?
like if I try my hands going,
Oh, I just did.
Not a space?
No, I just wanted them on a silpat, and I went to put it in with the parchment paper.
True.
Real space.
Cool. Much better.
Not a little. Okay. Like this is getting a little tight. Oh my God. Not a lot of real estate.
Data with the details.
Just making sure. Look, we spent all this time.
Yeah, we did.
You spent 95% of the time putting it together, and want to make sure that they're okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, in we go.
Or two.
And actually, I can do both of them at the same time, can't I?
Why? You're like, are you making a long?
We're just gonna go ahead and do it on the
These look
paper.
like-
One's gonna be on
They
parchment,
almost are like the exact size of an egg.
and one's gonna be
How do you
on
do,
this.
like-
Yeah. So you wanna go in like a circular motion.
It is what it is.
Now look, wait.
You wanna go like this. You wanna go back and forth.
Okay.
There we go.
This.
Now those are in.
They go down or not?
We used. Let's see, I wrote down.
Better.
Says 15 to 20 minutes. We're gonna do a timer for 14 minutes.
All right, babe.
Yeah.
You want like this? Like this?
Here, let me get on this side.
Yeah, you do a
Yeah.
little bit of this.
And then, yeah, you want it to be like a little egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we, is that good enough? All right, they're ruined. Take it away.
Just chill. Okay, you made this really hot. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and you're basically gonna go tying in and then kind of just roll off.
I was right.
Okay?
Roll off the back.
Roll the back.
Cool.
Harry's cookies were really great, except for the mellow Corona. They looked like balls of snot.
What?
Yeah, terrible.
Okay, do you want me to do it?
That's not
It's
bad.
just not as at the level
We
of
don't make
yours.
mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Wild Baloney Pony! Takes the 36, 3 years! Follows content worth my monthly investment. Yeah.
I'm gonna move this to you.
If you show up to GCX, it really will be worth your time.
Your hands are dirty, my hands are clean. It'll never work.
Actually, let me just pull the big guys out. Nobody cares, David. I knew you were gonna go there. Did you let me get in there? You're
No, it's
freaking me
fine,
out.
but it's like-
It looks fine, and your commentary is making me feel like you're ruining it. It's good. Relax. Ooh.
Look, we got a lot to go in here. I want to make some space. Oh, we chilling with these?
Huh?
We chilling with these?
Yes, but not for very long.
Yeah, that looks good.
But how can you have to like spatula them now?
What do you mean
Oh,
spatula?
once
They're
chilled,
baked.
Hard.
They're gonna get baked.
Once
What do you
they're
mean?
chilled, they're hard enough to move.
They're not. They might puff a little bit,
Oh,
but
they
they're
won't
not
crack.
gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna expand.
Gotcha. Oh, sorry. I
These-
just, you were talking. I heard what you said. I ignored it. It was gone.
You know what? We don't even need to chill these. So I'm happy with that. These can go right into the bottom of the oven when you're ready.
These what?
The cookies, they don't need to chill.
Oh, I think they did.
We could, but it's not necessary.
We're gonna need
I was waiting for
Thank
that.
you.
That's a good one.
we're gonna need like 2.
Yeah, this is a couple trays. But I'm only gonna be baking like 12 at a time.
Oh.
It's okay. You're fine.
But not on steel pat.
Huh?
Not on steel pat.
Well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
I don't think you can move these unless they're chilled.
I mean, you could like,
Maybe if you're a little bitch about it.
yeah. like-
Oh. How'd you do that? Every time I touch it, like breaks. Cookie
Well,
whisperer.
Because she knows how
Soft
to handle
hands,
them.
soft hands.
Your laptop turned off.
Okay, thanks. Like actually turned off or, oh, okay.
No,
we
sleep
just,
mode.
Whoop.
it is legal to get baked in Florida if you have a medical marijuana card. Thanks for asking.
Dude, I've hit 27.3 exactly, like 3 out of the past 5.
Consistency.
That's not the number I want to hit, though. That's the thing. 25-1.
Look at that, I'm magic.
We don't make mistakes.
On the light side?
We have
Oh my
happy
God, that's
accidents.
This is good. This is a good number.
Japan?
Yeah, we're good here. These are gonna go bake.
Big. Ooh, and the dark sage to a 66.
If you want to
Thanks for the money.
move the parchment paper from underneath one of those and just slide it over, you guys can keep scooping. And I would just throw the scoops on. We can shape them when we get there.
Shape.
Killer Instinct Fresh Primer. Sacrifice loader.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That's better. Okay.
No
We
more
at
than
350?
5% off.
What?
Wait. Those mellow macaroni were great, but some of them were 5% different.
Okay. Where I'm gonna set a timer. Okay, so we're gonna do a timer for 25 minutes on those cookies.
Resinosity, no more streams this week. It's the last stream until Monday.
I'm in front of it. I tried to get out of the way and I totally got in front instead.
We have happy accidents.
Shrimp boat!
Okay.
Cat makes it 37. Buddy, over 3 years. 3 years of cookie rolling content.
So after these cookies come out of the oven, they're gonna go into this syrup and they're gonna soak and then get put onto one of these guys to just sit and like drip a little bit. And then what we'll do is I'll chop up some nuts and I'll put some chopped nuts on top as well. You don't have to do that. That's also an optional thing, but typically you would chop up like walnuts and put walnuts on top.
Exactly. Correct.
Nice.
Ah, this thing. Damn you, camera. The webcam. The webcam is like half a second behind.
Oh, okay.
Never speed it up.
To get it to the right thing.
Too much internet buffering.
We have 6.5 minutes left on these guys. Oh God, I did it again.
Oh.
What happened?
I thought I changed the upper oven to 350 and it didn't do it. It didn't
hot.
set it. They're gonna be too hot. Damn.
Let some of that air out.
Yep.
Let it out.
Bring it on down.
I hit the buttons and it didn't take. Oh, it'll be a little crispy.
Gotta start over.
That's what my wife.
No, the time will be. I'll set. The time will be less. So I put it a minute less than what I had it written as, and I'll probably just take it out like another minute or so before. You call the crispy one? No, I caught it before it was a problem. Oops, she did it again.
Ew. Pure oil and butter.
Well, wash your dang hands.
Wash your damn hands.
Take some of your own advice.
Yeah. Not me.
Why is there tape on the side of this bowl?
There's what?
Tape.
Oh.
Oh, huh. I
That's a little
probably had brioche in it and had taped the sides down so that the what is it called? I can do this. Press and seal. The cling film
Yeah.
didn't come up off the bowl.
Grandma, how are the kids?
Is she in here?
She's in here. She's in there.
What are they doing? I figured they would be back by now. It's late.
Movie after the.
Oh, did they go?
I don't
Nice.
know. I don't know. Just making it up. Oh, this is a good Destiny 2 break. Y'all.
Yeah.
Fill your tummies.
I guess, do we
They
want?
are puffing up.
They do be.
Not much.
No, like not. It's not gonna spread though.
Bigger.
Yeah. Do we want?
Nos, I'm helping.
Do we want to make the pimento cheese
No.
while we wait? Just kind of
Well.
chill.
I mean, can.
I don't know. I mean, I always end up doing something like this. Okay. If you want to take the other cookies out, the second batch, the pistachio ones, I can do that.
No, you have that. You say so.
Oh my
That'll
goodness.
do it. I'll watch
I'm
it.
grabbing. Where are these
Okay.
located?
In the deep freezer.
Deep freezer. Second deep freezer. Next to the
I just want
Ferrari.
to start cleaning.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, we're done. I just want to like get everything moved away.
How clean you talk?
Does anybody have any questions about anything they saw today?
How tall is Left? How short is Kari?
Was that asked? I didn't see that. I know I wasn't really looking at chat, but we're eating. Be home in time for cookies. Cool. Perfect.
You guys literally do Kirkland everything. Like, it's
Oh, yeah.
not even a meme.
No, it's not.
Everything.
It absolutely is not a meme. If we could get sponsored, that would be absolute insanity, and I would be very happy for it. But I know that that's not
It's like everything.
a thing. Yeah.
Laundry detergent, food,
So booze. Yep.
baking.
The bread.
ingredients.
Yeah. This is
Socks.
Kirkland, but it's like I for certain things I'll like look up where like what the equivalent is and like where it was produced, because sometimes they'll literally produce Kirkland brand products in the same factory as like another place. So yeah. It is not a meme at all. We got Kirkland brand paper towels. Not toilet paper though. That was a tough lesson to learn. These guys are almost done, and then we can start kind of like rotating things in and out. Seeing a little bit of color on the bottom of the top,
We need
guys.
an oven cam. Oh, I asked Grandma the question.
Okay, pardon moi. Incoming. Okay, so we're gonna let these guys cool for just a little bit, and then they're gonna get tossed into powdered sugar. And they're gonna get coated in some powdered sugar. Can you just wipe that out so that it doesn't have flour in it, and we can put some powdered sugar in that? It's time to put you guys to work. Just about.
What do you want in this?
Ooh, watch out. It's gonna get powdered sugar in it. Did you just wipe it or did you wash it?
Wipe.
Okay, cool, good.
How much?
Just dump some in there. There's no real number. It's just, yeah, it's to toss them in. Have no patience for waiting for cookies to cool. Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes.
My mouth's on fire! Work.
Ignore the citra and just dump. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, let's turn off the timer
What is
and then
this?
go back. What is what? Oh, that's egg white. You can just, that's okay. That can go down the drain. That's fine.
Here goes Nick.
If you want, yeah, we can make egg whites. Like an egg white something. Omelet or something.
Little sandwich.
Yeah. I found a pistachio. I saved it there just for later. Okay, let me do... this.
There's nothing wrong with trying to secure the bag.
Ooh, those need to be cooled longer.
Oh,
Okay.
no, look out below! Give me one of MBK. Thanks for the money!
Okay. We're gonna get the next set of the snowball cookies into the oven in just a second.
Gotta press them.
Huh?
Gotta press them.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, something I mentioned but then did not go back to. Those cookies are supposed to be they're supposed to be different. They're supposed to be less weight and volume than they are. Okay, so this is pistachio paste, and I stuck it in my freezer, and I basically made little pucks. This is just like a chocolate mold, a candy mold. That's a teaspoon. Oh, I figured. Okay, we'll move it. Woo! How's that? So it's just a teaspoon. And they do defrost relatively quickly because there's just so much just oil and sugar. So they don't stay frozen for very long. But it makes stuffing cookies a lot easier. Okay, how do I feel like doing this?
You want to press these?
No, not yet. So these are supposed to be a tablespoon and a half of a tablespoon. And so now I've got,
Injecting them with.
I weighed them and I wrote that number down somewhere, but I can no longer find that number, which is not amazing. I have written down 25-gram cookies, but I'm gonna double check that just to be sure. Hey, that's better, you got it.
Thinking about it this entire time. I wanted to redeem myself.
Let's just like double check.
He ain't no patsy.
Because I may need this kind of redone, and I'm very sorry for that. But I think what it'll probably be is just take a teaspoon out. Because I think these are the size of the big scoop, but it has, it's not stuffed. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like take a teaspoon out because the teaspoon goes into the middle of it.
Right. Sucks. Yeah. Just make it bigger.
That's okay.
Oh, but then the ratio's off.
Yeah, then the ratio of cookie to filling is off.
Not enough.
Yum.
Stash.
So I apologize for that as well. Let's see what actual weight is going to be. That's about 20 grams, 22 grams, give or take. Okay.
Right.
Well, you're also doing 3, and then sometimes you're doing 4.
My arms don't move fast.
There you go.
These are all different. These are all different weights.
Are they?
Oh. Stop talking shit about my friend.
You hear him?
If you don't start talking about my friend.
If you don't stop talking shit about my friend.
Yeah?
Like when you're down on yourself, you're like,
Oh.
I'm such an idiot. Hey, if you don't stop talking shit about my friend.
Danielle says that to me a lot.
If you don't stop talking shit about my husband.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah, so we're looking for like 23 to 25 grams per cookie.
Are these too big?
And then they're going to get stuffed. Yeah, they're too big.
Oh, we didn't weigh these. We just.
That's why I had said we're going to need to weigh this dough, and then I did not keep an eye on what we were doing.
Yeah.
And so they need to get stuffed. And so they get stuffed
Oh, no.
Honestly, what if we just.
to about, huh?
Start all over.
I mean,
No, but they're
it's
chilled.
fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm going to have to chill them again. It's not a big deal, though.
You have to re-chill them anyway.
Yeah. So,
It seems like it'd be faster if you just
re-scooped
dump it
Yeah.
all.
Versus like trying to
into
individually
each one.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically going to do that, just not in a bowl.
Okay.
And not all of them might get stuffed, so. Okay, so
Get stuff. Yes, chef. Thank you, chef.
Can you do me a favor and just like pop those out and hand them to me?
Pop out these.
Yeah.
The pistache.
Yeah. Just one at a time, like as I'm making a cookie,
Yeah.
hand it to me. You don't have to like get them all out super fast. Thank you. I think I'm in the wrong place for this. I should be doing this here, but.
We can slide a little bit.
Yeah, so I like to chill these so that they're easier to work with to stuff. And then I'll do this and then go back to it.
We don't make mistakes.
Recluse.
We have happy accidents.
This is 13. Buddy.
Come on. You gotta pop it out. Yeah, thanks.
Not using gloves for wet ingredients. Everything's wet.
Honestly, I should. No, that is a like a sanitary kind of a thing. Honestly, this is a really wet dough too. Thank you.
Chaos.
Chaos arrives.
Chaos is back.
Guess who's back again?
Luke and Kate.
Tell a friend. Okay, give me another one.
Luke, how was it? Yeah, did you jump? How much did you jump?
We don't make mistakes.
What? You jumped the
We have happy
ceiling?
accidents.
Oh. Are you gonna be tired? Some nice shoes you got on, bro.
Thank you.
Oh, that's me. That's me and Mama on the stream. Yeah, we don't have the audio on. Where's Kate and Grandma? Oh, hey, Kate.
Uh-oh.
No, fell asleep. Hey, did you like jumping? Yeah, was it fun? 2 hours? Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Where'd y'all eat? Oh, Applebee's.
For some reason, I don't know why I was thinking of
Oh, the one next to here?
yeah.
Where were you supposed to go?
BJ's.
Oh, okay.
Rage face! The cookies are coming along.
Where?
What about the bottom cookies there?
I have an alarm going. I have it set.
Nice.
It should be my phone if you want to check it. Yeah, it's just starting to stick to my fingers now. I need to get some water on my hands.
Oh.
Whoop. That was almost dangerous.
Oh.
Let's check this. See where we are. 6 minutes and 13 seconds left. We're almost there. They look good. Okay.
We have one row. extra.
Without? That's A-okay by me. Okay. One more. Yeah, I'm starting to get to. They're not cold anymore.
Baking is a science. You believe in science? Weird. We are all wearing our own merch. This is great.
Oh, technically, this is just branded. This isn't
brand,
merch.
well, you bought it.
People can't buy this.
Someone bought it for you.
Yeah, my brother bought this for me for Christmas. My apron. I used it in my cooking class.
Yeah?
Yep.
Dawning prep? No, probably not this year.
Okay, next.
Cookies for the dawning. Take that. Eva Levante. Eva Levante.
I love that these are like green. Like the color of the cookie
Yeah.
is green.
Oh.
That corner.
And then there were two.
If I weren't trying to get this done so quickly, I probably would have just taken like a couple out at a time and like not had the whole thing here so that this would have stayed cold. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're gonna have to go reach.
And then like, yeah, so because they have to get rechilled before they can bake. Or they'll like spread just a little bit more than I want them to. But so this is just part of the like malleability, like, and the like your just ability to not be messy. Last one. There's literally containers of just the pistachio paste in the refrigerator if you want it. That hurt. You okay?
Almost fell.
Almost ate it.
Why did I leave that open? Bad.
Because you started cleaning and then I asked you to help me instead.
Nope. Not blaming you on this one.
Okay.
Probably do a load.
Okay, let's do. All right, let's sit these back. Can you put these back in to chill?
Yes, chef.
Thank you. Okay. These have now cooled enough that I can take them off and they're staying pretty intact. And then what I'm gonna do is put them into the powdered sugar. The question is, can we tell which cookie is which once we've got powdered sugar on them? If they're gonna be pistachio or pecan. It'll be like a nice surprise. We should really mix them in and just be like, it's a gamba. Figure it out. Yep.
Mystery box.
Yep. You'll probably be able to see the difference in the green. Okay.
Can I do that over there? That doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I can. Well, you can move. I think there's like, I only have, okay, well, I have 1 minute and 33 seconds left on those, and those have to be fast. So I'm gonna put them here and immediately start working with them. I guess if I could borrow hands too, I don't know if one person wants to do the powdered sugar ones and one person wants to do the honey with me.
Sure. Whatever you want.
But this is gonna need to go fast.
Fast.
You moved,
My
here.
middle.
Wait, you moved.
When I move.
You're gonna get powdered sugar on the countertop. Do you care?
What?
You're dipping in powdered sugar and then setting it down on a grate. Can you lift the grate up, the cooling rack?
What are we working on first?
There. I mean, somebody can do that and then somebody can do these with me.
Oh, Datto. Powdered sugar duty.
Oh,
Gotcha.
have a.
Just
wait.
wash your hands and then pick up a cookie. Put
Yeah,
it
you're
in
just
Oh,
dipping it. You're just dipping it in.
We're just raw dog.
We're going willy nilly on this guy.
Willy nilly. Great guy.
20 seconds. T minus 20.
Okay.
Now, what am I doing?
Okay. So basically, what we're gonna do. No. Oh, you're gonna take them out of the oven. Okay. I guess let me give you space. We'll put them
2,
here.
1. Anyone out?
Yeah, you can sit them down here.
These, right?
Yep. Go ahead and sit them down.
Mellow macaroni.
And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of like pop them off and just put them right in. Okay. And we're gonna let it sit for like 10 seconds. Are they too hot for you?
They too hot for you, Leopard? Too hot to handle?
And then flip.
I got sensitive.
So it's gonna sit for about 10 seconds, and then we're gonna flip and let it rest for another 10 to 15 seconds, and then we're gonna take them out and put them onto this tray here. I know I'm not facing the camera, but I've got this guy. I'm looking at this guy like he can see me.
I see you flipping. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that is a cookie covered in whatever this is.
It's a honey syrup. And the part of the reason why I chose this cookie, like I really want people to experience it, one.
Just leave the powder sugar out.
But the other reason that I chose this cookie is because of all of the sugar in it. The honey syrup specifically, these cookies are better the longer that you wait to eat them. Like their
So
peak,
thin.
their peak is like 3 days after you make them.
Just rebake them, re-dip them.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then the same thing with these snowball cookies. It's like the longer that they go, the better that they get. But you see how these are already kind of cooled. So the cooler they get, the less they soak in that
Right.
honey, which is why you want to like just like right off the bat go like this is going to be a better tasting cookie than these guys are. But like you can see like the difference in color that we had from I just popped them under the honey, so there goes that. But the difference in the color is like crazy because of how much they soak up this honey.
Make it like twice distilled vodka. Just throw them back in.
No, because they'll start to fall apart. They'll literally,
Too much liquid.
they will literally crumble. There's no egg in this. Like you don't have a binder or anything like that. It's gonna just like, yeah.
That's not even the cookie's final form.
That's pretty funny.
Child, what ails you? Are you going through my, what are you doing? Hey. You have a smile, a smirk on your face. Uh-oh.
I feel like kids being quiet is worse than kids being loud.
100%. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, then.
Yeah.
Screens are off, they're quiet. They're
Yeah, if they're loud on a computer, it's
just
because
broke.
they're molding.
Something has been destroyed.
hello, Miss Kate.
Hi, you. You seeing yourself on camera? Girly.
I didn't even think to focus. I'm sure someone would have explained.
We've been out of focus all afternoon and had no idea. Okay. We can go ahead and start the second batch. So I'm gonna go ahead and shape these.
Those are good for cooling.
Yep.
And 350 still good.
Yep, 350 is what I need. If you want, can you set my timer
Yeah.
to 25 minutes? Don't start it, just like get it kind of.
Ready.
doing this in the wrong place.
Do the kids call Datto Uncle Datto? No, Mr. Mr. Sir. No.
Mostly you.
Hey, can you come watch me play this game?
To be fair, that's kind of what we do to our community.
Yeah. Just say you.
You have a
Hey, you.
community?
A computer thingy? Guess how many YouTube subs he has?
I don't know.
Guess. Throw out a number.
Yeah, any number.
Okay.
More than that.
Oh, more than 1 million, Luke. Not that many.
I'm not that popular.
He just dashes your hopes to impress him.
4?
2 million.
Like 1.3.
1.2.
1.2.
1.2. He went down.
Don't worry, when final shape comes out, it'll be 1.5.
You don't have hands washed, love.
That is optimistic.
I
Your
know.
hands are not washed.
Hell.
That's the only way I get through life. Is optimism.
All right, you ready?
Yes, Jeff. On your mark.
Fix your nut
Hey,
job.
hit start, hit start, hit start, hit start, hit start, hit start. Hurry, hurry. Woo, that was close. Good job. Good job.
Okay, this was not used.
It's not tickling. It's a neck massage. Do you have no stress in your shoulder blades and your traps? Are you not stressed about all the responsibilities in your life?
Okay, do you want to go grab the pistachio cookies?
You have one responsibility. What is it?
If you go grab the pistachio cookies, we can go ahead and do those.
It's stay alive.
That is a good responsibility for a child. No, you don't think so? Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to bake the chocolate chip cookies for you guys. So I typically chat. I bake chocolate chip cookies after letting them rest for 24 hours if I can. Minimum 6 hours on resting a chocolate chip cookie because it gives it structure. It helps, like the sugar dissolves in, the flour gets fully hydrated, and it's just like a better texture of a cookie. So I would prefer to not bake them during this stream and just like bake them off later tonight. I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Whatever makes the best food.
Like, it'll be a better cookie if we wait on them.
Wait it up.
Okay. I feel like the answer for the people who are going to be eating them is going to be like, well, wait. If that's what it is, then just wait. Okay. This in.
How's the knee holding up, babe?
It's trying.
You are looking very mobile today.
I am 100% sidewalking here.
Oh, okay. My back actually kind of hurts. Probably because I haven't slept.
You haven't had time to decompress on a mattress?
Yeah, no, I think that's literally it. Like, if I don't, the more I sleep, my back hurts less because I am not vertical.
Okay.
Yo, what up, Jasmine? Jasmine, are you at GCX?
We're gonna just, we have an extra cookie here.
By the way, Chad, if you like what you see, hashtag ad, lilspoon.com, my wife's website. Lots of recipes, well-researched, no life story, and at the bottom of the front page, you can find her Patreon. Any dollar amount will get you access to her private Discord and that community. That's how she's
Funding
what she does currently. No ads on the website.
Yeah.
She is doing cooking classes.
You don't have to scroll a million years to get to the recipe either. I am doing some cooking classes, that's true.
Supplemental income.
Yeah. But you get access to a private Discord server. We do a chat once a month. And my patrons get to influence a lot of the recipes. I'm constantly in there going like, what would you think about this? And what if I did this? And like that kind of a thing.
We don't make mistakes.
So yeah, they have they play a big role in that, which is nice. It's nice to have a community that's like all around food because like that's my favorite thing. No offense.
Only a little bit taken. Rick with a 42. 42 months means I get cookies from Kari. No, unless you're GCX.
Yeah, you gotta be at GCX to get cookies from Kari.
That's tomorrow.
Unfortunately.
Friday, Saturday.
Are we gonna eat any of these? Do you want to eat one?
Will eat.
We had a little guy here that was
Share.
like a half a cookie. We can do
Sharing
this.
one or more.
Let me get a plate.
Are you wanting chocolate chip cookies to set up more?
Yeah.
Because of the butter content.
No. The after like let's say an hour of chilling, like that butter, really 30 minutes, but we'll just be safe. We'll go on the safe side. After about an hour of chilling, like that butter is set. It is the coldest it's gonna get in a refrigerator. There is absolutely no need beyond that specifically for butter to have something in the refrigerator. The reason for the 24 hours is more like hydration of the flour and just overall like melding of the flavors in the cookies. I hope that helps.
Are we sharing a...
Yeah, did you wanna try, Datto? You wanna try a cookie? If I can find a knife to break this little guy up.
GCX is Friday and Saturday, but we're showing up tomorrow, so we'll be around Thursday. Negative day 0.
No, we're not gonna be. Well, at least I'm not gonna be partying too hard on Thursday.
No.
Because I got 2 long
Chilling.
days.
That's terrible.
Nice.
Terrible. No one wants these. We'll just keep them here.
There you go. We can eat one of those too if you want.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's better if they sit,
Better they wait.
but we can
I love how
absolutely.
Kari took the big juice.
Which one were these again?
Those were the pecan ones.
The
That's what I
extra,
thought.
Yep. Oh geez, we're falling apart.
the extra.
Oh man.
Oh my god! Look
Like,
at
I
look
just-
at the cross-sectional wetness.
Like it just falls apart.
Yeah.
And like it will set a little bit as it cools, but it's basically like that. It's that. Like it just gets softer and softer and softer. So like right now, you get a little bit of that granularity. That's the semolina flour. But as it sits, that gets soaked and it relaxes and it softens and it just becomes just this beautiful texture. It's really nice.
Velvety.
Yeah.
But where's the lamb sauce?
What?
Next time, Rick.
I'm interested in the chocolate chip cookies.
I have some in the freezer that we could bake off tonight.
Oh yeah.
Like bake off sooner.
Yeah.
If you wanna just like
I mean,
try it.
I'll be patient. I can be patient. I think it's just a matter of how much longer you want the stream to run.
Yeah, I mean I'm good if we're good. Because there's like really not much else. This is the same thing as those guys.
Waiting
Yeah.
18 minutes.
Yeah, and we've got 18 minutes before that batch comes out. So I am contented.
Okay.
Alright, we can wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Thank you for coming to this cooking stream. I'm so glad that you were here.
I also locally recorded it. We'll upload it to the playlist of our cooking stream.
Yeah.
I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
All right, outro, go.
Thank you everyone for coming to our special bonus. Thank you. I know what I'm supposed to say. I appreciate the help though. Like this much appreciation. Thank you for coming to the bonus cooking episode for reaching 30K with our GCX charity event. That was all for the kids and St. Jude. It's been a good time. I'm very glad that you were here hanging out with me. And it is now time to go, and I'm gonna go sit down and put my feet up. It's gonna be great. If we see you at GCX, these cookies are all gonna be waiting for you. And like I said, we just post up outside right by the food court. There's some seating outside, and we'll be out there with these guys on Friday and Saturday in the afternoon after event hours, and you can come by and snag a cookie or two.